Not many people rated the Oakland Invaders potential division champions, but they hung in, led by a quarterback named Brett Fasana, who had given up the beer business to go back into football. And on Saturday, June 25th, Oakland hooked up with Boston in a battle that lasted to the very bitter last second. And Oakland escaped with a 17-16 victory, and they won the Pacific Division title with a record of 9-9. The Michigan Panthers had a 1-4 start on their season. Adding and changing personnel, the Panthers came together, particularly helped by the development of quarterback Bobby Hebert, the addition of 3 ex-Pittsburgh Steelers offensive linemen, and the development of the home run hitter for the Panthers, wide receiver Anthony Carter. Michigan rolled off 11 wins in their last 13 games, and last Sunday beat Arizona 33-7 and won the Central Division Championship. And today, ABC Sports presents the second game of the USFL Division Playoffs. The United States Football League. The winner goes to the championship game next Sunday night. And this matchup, the Pacific Division champion Oakland Invaders against the Central Division champion Michigan Panthers. We're at the Silverdome in Pontiac, Michigan today for this playoff game between Oakland and Michigan. The winner goes off to Denver next Sunday night, and they'll meet the Philadelphia Stars. The people in Michigan will set a new attendance record today for the United States Football League. They're expecting more than 60,000. The advance ticket sale was more than 55,000. Alfred Taubman reduced the ticket price down to $8.50. He bought all the parking spaces outside for $5, and he sold them to the Michigan Panther fans for $3. He's done quite a job of marketing his ball club. Hello again, everybody. I'm Keith Jackson. Many of you, I am sure, enjoyed that contest in Philadelphia yesterday, with Philadelphia beating Chicago 44-38 in overtime. We'll have highlights of that game for you at halftime. If we have another ball game here at the Silverdome in Pontiac like that one yesterday, they're going to carry me out in a second. I don't think I can last through another one like that. Lynn Swan and I, of course, enjoyed it, traveled over here, and we expect, I think, this afternoon, Lynn Swan, a ball game that's going to be tough for the Oakland Invaders.
Well, Keith, if we have a game like we had yesterday, that sack better be big enough for both of us.
The Oakland Invaders, to me, are the surprise team.
They are a surprise team. They did very well. A 9-9 record coming into this playoff game. They kept pace with the competition, but they did it mostly on the arm of Fred Fasana. 62.7% completion rate. A lot of short passes. He won't hurt you quick, but he'll hurt you consistently, the short passes. And one of the men on that team that's helped solidify that offensive passing attack has been an old veteran from the Oakland Raiders. Number 87, Raymond Chester, is a man who can do it all. Leads their team in receptions. Second leading receiver, Arthur Whittington.
Arthur Whittington may not play much today. He's been laid up 2 weeks with a cracked rib. There's said to be some dispute over his contract situation. He missed practice last Friday, almost was not asked to dress.
Well, they're going to need him, but if they're ever in bad field position, Stan Talley is a man who can punt him out. He has the longest punt in the USFL this year, a 75-yarder last week in a losing effort against Chicago Blitz. He is a man who is very accurate, puts the ball back deep, and they're going to rely on that foot whenever they're in trouble. But mostly they're going to be relying on their middle linebackers, their inside backers, Frank Mano Maliuna out of UCLA in San Jose, and Gary Plummer. And they lead the team in tackles. They have 5 interceptions between them, and they have forced fumbles numerous occasions to create the turnovers.
As this USFL started, it seemed rather obvious that there would be some teams that would grow a little every week. I think the Michigan Panthers did the greatest job of growing through the season, winning 11 of the last 13.
Somebody fed them something, because that team has grown in leaps and bounds. That team has just improved steadily throughout the year. And the man didn't expect to be a great quarterback, who has turned out to be a team leader, Bobby Hebert. He has thrown 27 touchdowns, and he has gained confidence and grown as a passer and as a leader as the team has grown throughout the season. Bobby Hebert has found an excellent receiver in Anthony Carter. We all knew he could go deep. In his days at Michigan, he has also developed into a receiver who will make the big catch over the middle and will do it consistently. He can hurt you short, and he will hurt people deep.
Big running back Ken Lacey, 225-pound rookie out of Tulsa, had a big year, gaining 1,180 yards. He's really a multi-purpose back, but most importantly, he is a hammer. He runs over you.
He doesn't play around when he gets the ball. He runs straight ahead. He's got good speed, leg drive, but he's developed into a very fine receiver. He'll come down the middle of the field, make the big catch. But they've done it really on the shoulders of that offensive line. 3 of them, former teammates of mine in the Pittsburgh Steelers, Ray Penny, Tom Dornbrook, Tyrone McGriff, and those people have solidified the offensive team and given Bobby Hebert his confidence.
John Corker is the lead man in the league in quarterback sacks with 28.5. He, I guess, is the leader of that defense.
He is the leader of that defense. Both teams are going to pass the ball a lot. John Corker leads the league in sacks, and Fred Basana has been sacked more often than any other quarterback in the league, 71 times. So you're going to see him going after him throughout the ball game.
I sort of have the feeling going into this game that it's a matchup of muscle against finesse. Oakland being the finesse team, Michigan being the muscle team. We've got a great crowd building. Should be a fun afternoon at the Silverdome. We'll start it in a moment.
This is heads. This is tails. You're the visiting team. You're going to call tails? Tails he calls. Tails he calls. Tails it is. You want to push. You want to receive. Which goal do you want to defend? Turn your backs around here. Wait over here.
So the Oakland Invaders will get first possession of the football as we have the second divisional playoff game. The winner going to Denver next Sunday night against the Philadelphia Stars. John Ralston, the head coach of the Oakland Invaders. He's done a terrific job in building this football team and getting it into the playoffs. Jim Stanley is the man who runs the show for Alfred Taubman's Michigan Panthers, and he has done an outstanding job. He has put together a football team that is, I think, better than anybody thought possible 3-4 weeks into the season.
Well, everybody started going out and getting the talent.
Taubman said, hey, I'm not going to be left behind. I see the competition here in the Central Division. I've got to build a good football team, and he went out and built it.
Michigan takes the field. Oakland will get the football. And the officials will be Tom White, the referee, Ted Colano, the umpire, Stuart Ross, the head linesman, Willis Spencer, the line judge, Dick Eichhorst, the back judge, and Bill Schmitz, the field judge. And the crowd is still coming into the Silverdome. They had an estimated crowd in excess of 6,000 at a rally in downtown Detroit last night. So there's a goodly amount of football fever in the Motor City area this week. One of the characters on this Michigan Panther team, and I mean that with all due respect because he is a character, Novo Bojovic. He is also an outstanding place kicker. He had a total of 103 points on the season. And he will kick off. He has pretty good range outside 40 yards, but not much outside of 50. The deep people for Oakland, Mark Lewis, number 80, and number 31, Lewis Jackson. And Lewis Jackson will be the starting tailback, the principal running back for Oakland in this ball game. So we're ready to go with the championship spot open for the winner. The kick is very high to Mark Lewis. He gets a hold of the sideline. It's a fine return out to the 35-yard line for Mark Lewis, where Lonell Fee brought him down for Michigan. Fred Basana comes out now, 63% almost in his completions this year. He will open at quarterback. Lewis Jackson, 200-pounder at one setback position. Ted DeRosian is the fullback at 225. The wide receivers, Wyatt Henderson and Gordon Banks, not too big but quick. And Raymond Chester, the old pro in his 13th season, at tight end. They opened with two fullbacks in there. He sends out Jack Holmes instead of Jackson. And Basana will put it up. He looks, he throws. It is caught at the sidelines by number 88, Gordon Banks. And Banks is brought down after about a 7-yard pickup. Gordon Banks at 5'9", 170. He played 2 years with the New Orleans Saints. The offensive front for Oakland, Kurt Yonker, 270-pound tackle. Steve Houston, 255 at guard. Jeff Harper, 250 at center. Frank Frazier, 280 at tackle on the right side. Dale Markham, 285. Big on the right side. Now Jackson is in. Number 31. And Terosian goes out. Henderson comes to the bottom of the picture. And the handoff goes to Jackson as he tries for the first down, and he doesn't get it. And the ball comes loose, and Michigan says, we've got it. Let's see what the fellas in the striped shirts say. I don't think they're going to agree.
But the ball popped loose. It didn't pop very far.
Nope.
Stuck right in the middle of that pileup. The last time these two teams met, Fred Basana threw 24 complete passes out of 30 for 341 yards and 3 touchdowns, so we can expect him to continue doing the same thing here today.
The ball is sitting at the 43-yard line, where it'll be third down and about 2. Ronnie Padgett, David Tipton, and Alan Hughes are the 3-down linemen. Good linebacking core of Kyle Boland, Robert Pennywell, Ray Bentley, John Corker. The secondary, Chapman, Davis, Arnold, and Greenwood. Third down and 2 for the Oakland Invaders. They go to Terosian, the fullback, and Michigan will have none of it. They just overpowered the Oakland offensive front and fouled up the play short of the first down. And Oakland will have to punt. We'll see the league's leading punter, Stan Talley.
That was David Greenwood, number 31, coming up from his safety position in on the tackle. He leads his team in tackle, and now Stan Talley has a chance to pin down the Michigan Panthers, who will try and punt the ball out of bounds inside the 20-yard line.
Anthony Carter is the deep man to receive the punt, and he's about as dangerous when he gets the football in his hand as any player I've ever seen.
All he needs is just a little block out in front, a wall to get behind. The speed will carry him the rest of the way.
Pressure zone. Talley's kick is out of there, and it's a good one. Carter watches it go through the end zone. Michigan will have the football first down at its own 20. It was a 57-yard punt to open the day for Stan Talley. Here comes Bobby Hebert now. The Cajun out of Louisiana, northwest Louisiana. He's a rookie, 6'4", 210, 22 years of age, and has turned out to be a whale of a young quarterback. The setbacks will be John Williams and Ken Lacey. Williams out of Wisconsin, Lacey out of Tulsa. Anthony Carter at one wide spot. Derek Holloway, a big little man outside. And the tight end, Mike Cobb, who has caught a lot of balls this year.
61.
Oakland shows him a 5-man front. Linebacker drops off. Give it to John Williams, and Williams running behind the right side of the line. Picks up about 4 yards. Up front is where Michigan is really strong in its offense. The lineman, Chris Godfrey out of Michigan, 250-pound tackle. Tyrone McGriff, 265 pounds. Wayne Radloff, 265 pounds in center. Tom Dornbrook, 250 at guard. And Ray Penny, 255 at tackle, with a tight end, Cobb, 6'5" and 235. It'll be second down and 6. The ball near the 24. Hebert will put it up on second down. Goes short with it to Cobb. The tight end gets the first down up at the 32. The defense for the Oakland Invaders, the 3-down linemen are Monty Bennett, George Atiyah not starting today. Dupre Marshall is in there instead, and Cedric Hardman, the old-timer. The linebackers are Dewey McClain, Gary Plummer, Frank Mane Una, David Shaw. The secondary, and here's where the pressure is going to mount as the day goes on, Kenny Daniel, Marcus Quinn, Frank Duncan, and Derek Martin. Those corners are going to have a job to do today. And those safety people are going to have to support a lot. Hebert goes down the middle. Cobb again. Pass just too long. Throwing on first down from the 32.
Well, what they're doing when you're talking about the secondary being under pressure, that time they played a 2-deep zone with both corners rolling up to bump the receivers at the line of scrimmage to throw the timing off. The open areas on that kind of defense are right down the middle. If they continue to play that defense, you'll see Cobb coming down the middle trying to split those safeties. Bobby Hebert trying to loft that pass in there.
In the third game of the season, March 19, Oakland came here and beat Michigan 33-27. Did it convincingly. But It's a different Michigan team. Those three big ex-Steelers were not in the offensive line for one thing, and the linebacking core hadn't melded either. Hebert stays in the air, stays with Mike Cobb, and Cobb is brought down at the 38-yard line. David Shaw, outside linebacker, and Frank Manemale-Una, inside linebacker. Frank played 3 years with the Kansas City Chiefs. They make the tackle.
Cobb leads his team in receptions, and whenever you have two outside receivers that are threatening, the tight end plays a big part in keeping that attack going. The consistent short passing attack underneath the linebackers. There he took a relatively short pass of about 3 or 4 yards, turned it upfield, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 2 situation.
With two tight ends in there now, they obviously go for the muscle on 3rd and short. They've got Carter outside wide. And the handoff goes to John Williams, and Williams has the first down. Big John is sort of the designated short yardage man. He is lighter in weight than Ken Lacey, but he has that capacity for getting short yards. That's great leg drive.
Excellent leg drive. That time he actually fell down short of the first down and just crawled his way across, making sure they did get it. Also, he has scored 12 touchdowns coming into this ball game. To get him down there on the goal line, and they have no fear of handing the ball off to him, letting him go over the top.
On the 42, exactly. Michigan's opening possession. Eric Holloway and Anthony Carter wide. Both can fly. Hebert looking to put it up. Looks for Holloway. Goes for him. And it is thrown out of bounds, incomplete. He had double coverage.
Again, double coverage of playing a 2-deep zone with those safeties, with the corners rolling up. Bobby Hebert had plenty of time to throw, stepped up in the pocket, and realized his receiver was covered, and just put the ball out of bounds. I don't think he intended for Derek Holloway to make that catch. And number 24, Derek Martin, was the cornerback on the play.
Arthur Whittington there, cracked ribs and a contract dispute. And he was a last-minute addition to the squad, really, because we had heard earlier today that he would not be allowed to dress. Nobody seems to want to talk about the circumstance very much. Hebert hands it off. Lacey's got it for the first time. And the big Tulsa rookie runs it up near the 47. And they'll be looking now at a 3rd down.
When you've got a strong offensive passing attack, the draws, low screens are the plays you see. The running back using quite a bit to offset the pass rush.
Here's Tim Brandt now, our sideline commentator, with Arthur Whittington.
Thanks, Keith. You have alluded to the events of this past week. Now, Arthur, let's talk about your ribs. Are you okay, and will you play?
Well, okay, I hope to play. You know, the ribs are kind of sore, but I can play. If he want me to play, I'm going to play. But y'all don't know right now, but I hope to play today.
Okay, Keith.
Ball is at the 46. They're looking at 3rd down and about 6. And Hebert puts it in the air deep for Carter, too deep. And so it's 4th down, and the Oakland Invader defense stands up.
Well, Bobby Hebert went after a big chunk awfully quick. He had a pretty good pass rush. He had man-to-man coverage on Anthony Carter that time, but good coverage. Marcus Quinn back there staying with him.
Greenwood, a double-duty man, playing the safety position and handling the punting, and he's a pretty good one. He averages 41.4. Number 31, Gordon Banks, the deep man. See him standing back there, number 88. No pressure, not a particularly good kick, but it's going to hit and bounce, and Banks picks it up after it bounces and comes back across the 20 to the 22. If he had not caught that ball and returned it 8 yards, it probably could have been killed inside the 10. We've got a timeout.
Balanced attack. Heavy, a little heavy on the passing side, but we expected that. We knew that coming into the ball game. Fred Basana, a man who just wants to get the ball out quickly to the backs. Also a way of getting the pressure off him.
Erosion and Jackson are the setbacks from the 22. Little quick pop over the middle, goes to Banks. Gordon Banks shakes one, gets the ball across the 40, out to the 43. Now they'll mark it on the 42. And so they go very quickly to the speedster out of Stanford.
He's got good speed. Best receiver on this football team. You see the big cushion there. He's got 10 yards to work with before he could even catch up with the defensive corner if he were to stand still. Makes a good catch inside, breaks the tackle to pick up some extra yards. Michigan can't, if they want to win this ball game, give the Oakland Invaders any life. Can't allow them to make any big plays.
On first down, Basana gives it inside to Lewis Jackson, and that's pretty tough country. He comes up to the 45 for 3 yards.
Robert Pennywell, number 59 on the tackle. Between Ronnie Padgett, David Tipton, and Allen Hughes, they make a formidable defensive front, and they are physical football players. They hit and hit hard.
The leading sacker in the United States Football League is John Corker, number 57, who works at the top of your picture. And Oakland is trying to use the offensive tackle, Kurt Yonker, to pick him off.
Well, whenever they think he's going to blitz, they slide that side of the line, giving him an extra man to the outside, letting the fullback come up, take on the middle man.
On 2nd and 7. Quick over the middle, pass incomplete. He's trying to get it to Raymond Chester, and Raymond got clogged up in traffic as the linebackers dropped off to cover him and had no chance to get it.
Well, he tried to come across real shallow in this play. He couldn't have been any more than 3 or 4 yards from that charging defensive line when the ball was thrown. The ball will come right in your picture. He doesn't even see it. He's not looking back at the ball. He's just trying to weave his way underneath all that traffic.
I think one of the things they're trying to do, too, is Basana's trying to get the ball away quickly, too, because certainly John Ralston doesn't want him taking punishment early in the ball game if he can avoid it. It is 3rd down and 7 for Oakland. The ball is at their 45. No score, first quarter.
First time we've seen Basana in the shotgun.
Out of the shotgun, he has a little more time to look. Flips it out to Lewis Jackson. Jackson goes for the marker, and he gets there. It'll be Oakland on Michigan's side of the field. First down at the Panther 46-yard line.
That was the first time the Oakland Invaders have used the shotgun in this season. Fred Basana just had a little bit of trouble taking that ball from snap, and they caught him in a blitz. See right there, everybody's coming. That's John Corker on the top, Yonker at the bottom. Coming inside, playing a little game, trying to confuse the blocking scheme. Basana gets the ball away quickly on the short screen.
And first down, Michigan 46. They're back into the conventional T alignment now. And the handoff to Ted Terosian, the fullback out of Fresno State. He gets across the 40 and goes down to the 39.
Ted Terosian made a good move to cut to his inside, taking the play up the middle before he met up with Greenwood. Came up and followed him around the shoulders and the head. Ted Terosian, he'll see a great deal of action today carrying the offensive running attack if Arthur Whittington is not going to play much in this ballgame.
Mark Lewis comes in now, replacing Wyatt Henderson, that wide receiver, on 2nd down and 3.5 to 4 yards. That's Lewis Jackson. Oh, he takes a lick, doesn't he? Ooh-wee, that big old linebacker came up and really nailed him. Pennywell.
They did a job on him. Wyatt Henderson, the receiver who went out that last play, as we take a look at Pennywell. Last game they played, had a big game against him, scoring 2 touchdowns. Last week we saw him, he seemed to be playing a bit timid. Didn't have one of his best ball games. We'll see how he plays today, as they will need all the offensive production they can get.
Iro Penaranda, number 21, comes in. Oakland 44% on 3rd down conversions this season. They give it to the fullback Terosian, and he bangs his way close to the 35 and looks like he might have the first down.
Looks like he got it up just to the 45-yard line, and that should be good enough for the first down.
We started out this year with our spring and summer football and rain and thunder and snow and everything. Today, as we have this divisional playoff game inside the Silverdome, it's an absolutely gorgeous day outside.
Well, you know, and here in Pontiac, the weather's never a factor.
That's right.
You don't have to worry about it under the dome.
On the 35, Oakland's ball, no score, first quarter. Basana wants Henderson. Down the middle, didn't catch it. Basana threw a bullet and it was a little behind Wyatt Henderson.
It was high and behind him, and he took a lick when he came in for the pass by number 22, Clarence Chapman.
Tim Brandt now with Bobby Hebert.
Thanks, Keith. We were just talking, and they have shown, Oakland has shown Michigan a couple of different coverages, maybe mixing them up a little bit. How do you attack it? You just got off the phones?
Yeah, well, they're not really showing us different coverages that, we practice. They're just mixing up real well, and, we just have to keep working the ball downfield. And, I thought AC would be more up in the seam instead of in the post in that last long pass.
Okay, Bobby. Keith?
Thank you. Second down and 10 from the Michigan 35. Reverse it, carrying the ball, Mark Lewis, wide receiver. He's got a first down for Oakland. He's loose on the sidelines. He's out of bounds at the 15-yard line. So John Ralston going to his playbook. Oakland's got to finesse him. They can't muscle with him.
They can't muscle with him. They're going to have to use the trick plays. They've got the speed. Number 21, Oliver Davis, had a chance to make the tackle earlier in this run, but he misses it on the sideline. You see Gordon Banks has got good speed. He gets a block out in front of him. David Greenwood goes down. Right there, Davis misses a tackle. And he picks up some big yards.
Mark Lewis out of Missouri Western State. Number 65 jump. Dave Tipton trying to anticipate the count, it appeared. Unless an Oakland man moved.
Encroachment on the defense.
So that's 5 yards. And now Oakland is really knocking on the door. It'll be first down and 5 at the 9.
This is a playoff game. Tension, a little bit of anxiety. Usually takes a couple of drives to work it out for both teams to loosen up. Michigan Panthers not being as alert, getting fooled by that reverse. Gotta pay attention, getting this ball game quickly.
That's Terosian. Big hit, fumbles the football. Oakland still got it. He really took a lick at the 2-yard line when it looked like he was going to get in for the touchdown. John Arno, the free safety, really nailed him. Frank Frazier covers the ball and Oakland keeps it.
Rookie out of Iowa really stuck him, knocked the ball loose. I thought there were enough Michigan Panthers around where any one of them could have fallen the ball and got the turnover. But they couldn't. Just take a look at the power of the hit that knocked his ball loose from Terosian. Right there. There's the initial contact. Knocks the ball loose. Strips it out of his arm. He goes down on it. Ball just bouncing around.
Terosian has to leave the game. Remember, he had some knee surgery, minor surgery during the course of the season. Came back from it. And I think that's the same knee that he's dragging as he walks to the sideline. It's on the 5 where it's second down and 1. Jack Holmes is in at fullback. Iro Penaranda, another fullback, lines up in the blocking back position or the wing. And the ball goes to Holmes. And Holmes bangs his way over the left side with a penalty flag going down. And he's got the yardage for the first down at the 2. But let's see about the penalty.
Number 59, Robert Pennyworth in on the stop.
Offside, Michigan. First and goal for Oakland as they now threaten to be the first team to put points on the scoreboard with 3:50 to go in the first quarter of play.
Finesse football team like Oakland. Jim Stanley on the headsets.
The left end on the defense. Penalty is accepted. First down. First and goal.
Bonnie Paget jumping.
Finesse team like Oakland gets a little breathing room. They can be very, very dangerous. We saw in yesterday's game, just a little bit of excitement. Emotional plays. Scott Fiske making a great grab inspired his team to come from a great deficit to win the ball game.
Jack Holmes to the goal line. Short, however, he did not score. Jim Stanley knows full well how much trouble a team like Oakland can be if they jump out in front of you.
That's right.
Terosian is coming back now onto the field. He was hit on the sore leg, but he's back in there. He's quick for a big man. He weighs 227.
Defensive line of Michigan trying to bury itself along that line of scrimmage so there's just no place he can run.
Erosion did not make it. He was trying to crawl over the top, and he was popped at the top. Michigan arguing the ball is theirs, but it's not. It is third down and goal to go, and the ball now comes back near the 2.
Fred Basana, he's got a good pair of legs on him. He'll roll out, put the ball in the air. I don't think he wants to really test that defensive line up the middle again.
John Corker conducting the crowd in the end zone area. He wants a lot of noise. They put Penaranda in motion. They give it to Terosian. He goes the other way. He goes to the goal line.
And he's short. And he's short.
Just inches. John Banaszak, number 76, was the man that kept him out of the end zone.
John Banaszak, former Pittsburgh Steelers, been a part of a lot of strong defensive stands. Right here, Ted Terosian gets the ball, and he is just jammed right there. The ball never crosses the plane. You saw his elbow just go over, but the ball was not in the end zone. John Banaszak.
Fourth and goal. The nose of the ball just inches away. Basana sneaks it.
Listen.
They're going to give him the touchdown. They waited a long time and took a good look at it. And they finally punch it in on fourth and goal from about 6 inches away.
Oh, in a situation like that, that's as safe a play as you can call. Just depend on the offensive center and the guard to wedge ahead. That's all they do. He gets behind it. He's buried in there. You can't see if he really goes over or not. But the officials decided he did. It's an Oakland touchdown.
And Kevin Shea is in for the extra point try. Fred Basana holds the kicks. Oakland scoring at 1:33 to play in the first quarter. Shea's kick is good. So it's an impressive possession by Oakland as they go 78 yards in 14 plays and take the lead 7-0.
He's kept away with his quick releases and short passes. Not taking much time.
Hanging kick. Well hit by Shea. Way back feed. No return. Michigan will start again for Mitch 20. This will be Michigan's second possession of the ball game with 1:28 to play in the first quarter. And the Invaders leading 7-0. In the first 5 games, they were running about 85 yards for their rushing game. Then they added Messrs. Penny, Dornbrook, and McGriff, and Godfrey. And it jumped all the way to 159 yards per game. Of course, part of that is maturity of the young players as well. Now they go from the 21st down. And Hebert hands it off to Ken Lacey. Lacey has a couple of yards, and that's all. And the Oakland Invaders playing them tough inside.
Playing them very tough. I'm surprised he doesn't go right back to his tight end with the short passes. Number 74, Dupree Marshall. Nose tackle making the tackle on that play.
George Atiyeh has been the starting man, but Dupree Marshall, who had a tryout with the NFL and didn't make it out of Washington State, 6'3", 255, getting his chance to start. And looks like he's enjoying it. Second down. Make it about 7. Oakland shifts the linebacker up on the outside. Give it to John Williams. Williams crosses the 25 to the 26, and they're looking at third down and 4. John Williams out of Wisconsin.
5'11". Not real tall. Can get under those defensive tackles. Pick up an extra inch or 2. 20 seconds remains in the first period.
Michigan runs about 37% on the season in third down conversions. That's Carter at the bottom of the picture. Hebert. No pressure. sets up the screen for John Williams. He gets the first down as he goes out with a 33.
Oh, he just did get the first down, but that screen, it looked like Bobby Hebert waited an awful long time.
Yeah, he sure did.
That screen took a little bit longer than I think he wanted for it to develop. The rush was coming in on him, but he was able to get the ball away as the first period comes to a close.
And after 15 minutes of play, the Oakland Invaders, Pacific Division champions, lead 7-0 over the Central Division champions.
Yeah, they sure did. That's really been the only offensive productivity in this ball game so far. It was a very well executed drive. Even though they did get the touchdown, they did get a chance to have very strong goal line defense for the Michigan Panthers. They did a good job.
They've got a first down. The ball is outside the 33, near the 34. Anthony Carter is yet to see the ball. They've thrown to him, but missed him. And give it to John Williams, and Williams, the hard runner, gets a first down. And then some. Fred Williams was hanging on to him, but he had to have help. And that's the big play of the ball game so far for Michigan.
Big play so far. Williams just gets the ball, uses power. Let's take a look at the inside linebackers and see how they play this particular play. They're looking, reading their keys. They get caught up on the inside. Plummer, number 51, right there. He misses, has a chance to make the tackle. And then Williams just drags the secondary, and big number 74, Dupree Marshall, comes on and adds his weight to the pile.
46-yard line of Oakland, first down. First time Michigan's been on the Oakland side of the field, and Hebert on first down puts it up over the middle for Holloway. And Holloway goes down at the 6.
Derek Holloway. He's tackled, brought down by Frank Duncan and number 25, Fred Williams. Derek Holloway, the last time these two teams met, caught 3 touchdown passes, even though his team lost, and he almost got another one here against the Oakland secondary. Good post pattern. It developed late, got in the seam, wide open. The linebackers reading the play. Look how far back they're dropping. 15 yards. They see the ball in the air. They turn and run, but it's too late. He takes the ball down to the 6-yard line.
First and goal to go Michigan, a 40-yard pass play. Holloway only stands 5'7", weighs 165 pounds, but he's tough. Played at Arkansas. Give it away to Williams, and John Williams, touchdown.
John Williams, great execution of the run. The fans know they have a good football team here. Getting down by 1 touchdown doesn't mean a great deal in only the second period of play. Jim Stanley, you would think by his expression, his team just dropped the football. Watch the block by number 61, Tyrone McGriff, as he pulls out right there, the key block on the 5-yard run. Knocks the corner to the outside, creates a lane, the running lane for John Williams. He scores easily.
Bojovich for the extra point. Whit Taylor holds, snap is high, Taylor gets it down, and Bojovich hits it. The reason they make that a 5-yard run in the official stats is the ball was marked just inside the 6. In fact, it was more than 5 yards that Williams carried it. So with 13-13 to go in the first half, we are even at 7. There's the man that put Michigan on the scoreboard, Big John Williams. Bojovich now will kick off with Mark Lewis and Lewis Jackson, the deep people for Oakland. Kick. Jackson way back. Going to come with it. Gets it out across the 20. And the Michigan man that hit him, Ira Albright, is down. Really nailed him, but Jackson flew across the 20, and you've got a timeout for Albright. No question his injury is somewhere in the neck area. But it was terrifying for a moment, the way he stretched himself out, laid himself out, and took that blow on the side of the head.
Took the blow on the side of the head. He could have broken his neck or his back, hurt his shoulders.
Lewis Jackson brings it back to the 20, and that's where Oakland goes to work. gives it to Lewis Jackson, trying to sweep. Gets around the corner and gets about 4, close to 5 yards. Brought down by Will Coakley, the outside linebacker from Kansas State.
I imagine what Oakland would like to do now is just kind of get the defense loosened up a bit, keep the ball to the outside. They've got them thinking about the reverses and gadget plays. Keep them off guard, keep them just a little bit off balance so that they can execute their offense, put some points on the board. Hopefully
Oliver Davis, number 21, Swanee, he noticed when he lined up on Banks a while ago, before the snap of the ball, he backed off and gave a big cushion. See if he does it now against Wyatt Henderson, who comes to the near side.
Well, he's trying to disguise it a little bit.
That's penalty time. Probably procedure against Oakland.
False start on the offense, the quarterback.
So that moves him back 5 yards. It'll mark the ball just inside the 20. And let's go right now to Derek Holloway with Tim Brent.
Keith, when we talked to Bobby Hebert, he said he was going to try to get his receivers in the seam, and it looks like they're doing that quite well. They're playing a lot of zone.
Yes, they are playing a lot of zone. They're trying to disguise the coverages. And I just curled over in the middle, and I was wide open.
Just talking to Fred Bassan on the other side, he says it is really terribly hard to hear. The receivers can't hear. Are you having that problem on the audibles?
No, we're not, because the crowd quiets down for the offense, and they raise up for the defense.
Okay, Keith.
Home field advantage.
Banaszak almost jumped, got back in time. Bassano's pass to Jackson over the middle, across the 30, 35, 40. That's a tough run, and it's a first down for Oakland.
Number 21, Oliver Davis, and John Arnott, number 25, making a tackle on Lewis Jackson. When you're a physical defensive football team and you like to hit, you have to be careful because you want to tackle people. You don't want to take a chance that your hit is not strong enough to knock the guy off his feet, the running back off his feet. You want to put your arms around him and bring him down to the ground. So far in this ball game, Michigan, in their exuberance to inflict the hard hit, have not been making the good, solid tackles.
First down at the 40 for Oakland. 7-7 ball game, 11.5 minutes to go. Bassano on a rollout, gets away from the pressure, hits Raymond Chester. Chester's got a first down as he is flipped at the 47 of Michigan by Clarence Chapman.
That's a good play, taking advantage of Fred Bassano's mobility and Raymond Chester. He rolled out beyond the rush of number 52, Kyle Borland, the outside linebacker, the rookie from Wisconsin. Got to the outside. He now has the option where he can run it upfield or dump it off to Raymond Chester. That time, Raymond Chester was already 9 yards downfield. Throws a short pass, real safe, picks up the big first down.
Bassano 5 out of 7 for 70 yards. First down at the 47 of Michigan. The fullback down to near the 43. Picked up 4 yards on the first down play, and Alan Hughes brought him down. Hughes from Western Michigan.
Well, that time they're working on number 65, Tipton. You see right there, he's being blocked by number 66, Steve Houston, and by the center, 53, Jeff Harper. Double teaming him, blowing him out of the hole. David Tipton's got his work cut out for him when you only have 3 down linemen. You've got that nose tackle. He has really got to be able to clog up the middle well. And he can get hit from either guard and the center.
Second down. About 5. Little quick pop over the middle to Ryan Henderson. Ball up in the air. Intercepted. Running with it is Kyle Borland. And Borland is knocked out of bounds at the Oakland 45. Wyatt Henderson had a little quick shot from Bassano, but he was pinched between 2 defenders and the ball squirted loose.
Well, we said that the Michigan Panthers are a very physical football team. Watch the shot. It's laid on Henderson right there. David Greenwood and number 50, Ray Bentley team up. Kyle Borland's in the right spot. The ball just drops into his arms. Look at Greenwood, number 31, the safety. He's in perfect position. He reads it. Right here, the stick, both he and the linebacker. And he just buries him in the ground. Wyatt Henderson had some problems last week hanging on to the football in traffic. This time, Bentley, the linebacker, Greenwood, the safety, team up to get the turnover, and it's the Michigan Panthers with possession.
Ira Albright walking around on the sidelines, shaking his neck, twisting it, but says he's going to be all right. He's going to be stiff, is what he's going to be. He took a lick. So the first turnover of the ball game gives Michigan the football.
Sana's on the headset, giving some advice from upstairs on how he can better exploit that Michigan defense.
Just inside the Oakland 46 for the first down. That's Cobb, the tight end, going in motion, and the ball is given to Ken Lacey. There's nothing fancy about that. It's just a plain old-fashioned power sweep, and it's good for 9 yards.
A good sweep. You had Dornbrook out in front of him. Got just enough blocking so he could turn it upfield. Get going in the right direction. Good for a 9-yard gain. How important is it to have those big men up front? Just take a look at the Oakland coaches, and they're trying to find a way to handle that offensive line of Michigan. Get them tied up. Michigan's line, a trap blocking team. You see them pulling. You see them run counters. Pass protecting extremely well.
2nd and 1. Let's see if he goes deep. Nope, he's going for his first down. Lacey's got the ball, gets the first down, and gets a lot more out of it as he tumbles across the 25. Big hole on the right side.
Oh, he got some great blocking up front from Dornbrook and Penny to close it down. He also got a very good block from John Williams, number 40. You see right there, just Dornbrook running downfield, keeping his man at bay. Cobb, number 89, blocking on number 40. Marcus Quinn giving him the extra help downfield. John Ralston knows that his defense could be in for a long day if they don't find a way to get through the blocking of that offensive line. Stop Lacey when he gets
near the
downfield.
23-yard line now, where it's first down. They send Williams. Starts to the middle, veers to the outside, and gets 2 yards on the carry.
Ryan Williams tripped up on the play, maintained his balance. He had a lot of room to run.
Gary Plummer, the inside linebacker who led the Oakland Invaders in tackles, a rookie out of California, suffered a painful ankle sprain in the ball game against Chicago last week. He's in there hustling today.
So everyone knows your championship game or playoff game, there's no tomorrow, that old cliche, and you've got to really play with a little bit of pain.
2nd down and 8 from the Oakland 21. Staying with the ground game, Williams caught from behind and knocked down as a penalty flag flutters into the stack. Randy McClanahan, who had 6 years with the Oakland Raiders, but now the Los Angeles Raiders, makes the tackle. It's a holding call. It goes against Michigan. So there's a little help for the Oakland defense.
They're backing them up. Now with 2 speeds, just like
Holding, number 61 on the offense. Penalty decline. 3rd down.
They take the loss on the play, rotate the down marker. The football is moved back to the 27.
Loss of 6 on the play.
speeches like Anthony Carter and Derek Holloway. When you've got 28, 25, 27 yards to go for a touchdown, they have enough room now to really operate and run some intermediate routes that makes it just as dangerous as being on the 5-yard line.
Frank McLean is in the lineup on 3rd and 13. Hebert back. He looks for Carter. He goes down the middle to the short man at the 15. They're short of the first down by a yard and a half. Derek Holloway, 5'7", makes the catch.
They call him Papa Smurf. He's a small receiver, can't be much more than 5'9". Gets down, makes a catch. 5'7", there he is. 165 pounds. Heck, when you're 5'7", you don't have to bend down that far to pick up the low ones.
Bojovich is in for the field goal now. The ball is sitting at the 16. And they'll snap it and down it out of Whit Taylor's hold at the 23. So it's a 33-yard field goal. And if it's against Oakland, it'll be a first down for Michigan. If it's procedure against Michigan,
number 75 on the offense.
it is. Tony Osmond moved. So that backs up Bojovich 5 yards.
Well, he moved just a little bit. Not actually a bad idea. Give him a little wiggle. If you can draw that defense offside, pick up the first down, keep your offense out there, give yourself a chance to score the touchdown.
38-yard field goal try now, and on the season, Bojovic 2 out of 4 from that distance. Good snap and hold. A lot of leg, and the kick is good. So at 6 minutes and 37 seconds to play in the first half, the Michigan Panthers go in front in the ball game by a score of 10-7. With a USFL record crowd watching at the Silver Dome in Pontiac, Michigan. Novo Bojovic will kick it off. Born in Titograd, Yugoslavia. Grew up in this country and went to school here in the state of Michigan. He kicks it toward Jackson. Yard deep in the end zones, coming out. Gets a hole on the sidelines. And he is thrown out of bounds, and he almost lost that football.
There's a flag thrown on the play. The kickoff team offsides, well offsides.
The return is out past the 25 to the 26, so let's see whether or not Oakland opts to take the penalty. Or take the field position at the 26-yard line.
Now, Mondo, what's happening is he's reaching, the tackle's reaching the wheel backer, okay, and there's double it to the back. Yeah, I was thinking the first one they ran, I came out. The second one we had to read.
Defensive huddle going on the sidelines with Oakland.
What they're doing is trying to tell the linebackers, the defensive secondary, just how and who is coming out to block them, analyzing the blocking scheme so they can better defense it. There you see the offsides on the kickoff. The entire right side. And Bojovic will have to go back and kick it over again. I believe the Oakland Invaders feel that they can have a great deal of success returning these kickoffs. That's not a bad return they had the last time around, and most teams may have accepted it.
Alan Hughes coming off the field and being helped to the bench, hurt on that last kickoff. The man talking to the Oakland linebackers was Mike Haluchak, talking principally to the linebackers since they are his people, and that kick is hooked wide and goes out of bounds. And now Bojovic is going to have to go back and kick it from the 25.
He might have to punt that one.
In penalties now, Michigan 5 flags, 23. Oakland 1 for 5. So the Invaders are gaining here through the process of the offside penalty and now the kick out of bounds.
Bojovic is not getting a lot of height on his kickoff. Bojovic is just going to have to kick this one right down the middle as hard as he can. Get it up in the air to give his kickoff team a chance to cover the ball. At least he backed himself up another 5 yards.
He still doesn't get any height on it. It's going to bounce. Good bounce, and it's picked up by Jackson. Lewis Jackson cuts for the sidelines, and Oakland will take the football first down at their own 34.
Lewis Jackson looked like he just tripped up. You know, no one really hit him. He just tripped and fell down.
And he's still down. So Jackson is hurt on the play. And if he should be lost for any period of time, a major loss for the Oakland Invaders.
Working on his leg. Seems to be working on the thigh muscle on that left leg. May have pulled it. And just falling down. Arthur Whittington, number 22, talking to John Ralston. Warming up. Looks like he may be going in the ballgame.
He had come out onto the field, and then he went back, was called back, and Jack Holmes now lines up with Ted Terosian. Literally 2 fullbacks in the backfield right now, and they've got Wyatt Peterson in motion, and Basana hands it off to Terosian, and I don't think that Fred really had a handle on the ball because it was so slow getting the ball back to Terosian. Ted never really had a chance to do anything.
He didn't, but Robert Pennywell didn't care. He just came up, make the tackle. Number 59, he's a linebacker inside. Gets underneath the blocker there. Perfect position. makes a hit in the tackle.
Was a gain out to the 36 for 2 yards. Second down, 8. With 5 minutes and 40 seconds to play in the first half, and Michigan leading Oakland by a score of 10-7. Now Arthur Whittington is in the lineup for the first time. Pisana back. Pressure's on him. And he goes out of bounds.
Trying to set up the screen pass that time. It didn't get set up. Arthur Whittington never got out of the backfield to get over behind the screen. Defensive line, linebackers played it very well. Watch to the left side of your television. That whole line moves over. Whittington gets blocked. He can't get out because number 52, Hal Borland, blocked him, kept him inside.
It's third down and about 10.
Most sacked team in the USFL.
Shotgun. Corker's after him. The center runs away from him. Can't get it away. Corker forced him back the other way, and bang, bang, bang. 3 of them got him.
John Corker came over the top, and that blitz from that outside linebacker position. Watch at the left of the screen. He just rolls over the top. Tarosian tries to block him, can't just gets a piece of him. Pisana is chased out of the pocket, and just as he throws the ball, John Corker comes in to make the hit. Forward pass. Arm was moving forward. Incomplete. Talley on to punt.
First punt was 57 yards for Stan Talley. Anthony Carter is deep for Michigan. You got 10 black shirts up there. They're going after Talley. Gets it out. Didn't get all of it. Carter will have some room. And they bring him down around the 33.
There's a flag on the play.
Might be a late hit here.
A lot of people standing around the pile, around the area where the tackle was made.
I thought he was face mask.
Shoving.
I thought there might have been a face mask. Looked like he went down awfully quick.
He was kind of doing a little tap dancing motion there.
It's a personal foul against Oakland. That's a big mistake. 15 yards.
Excuse me, a tap dance standing still. And they grabbed this little personal foul. Probably someone, I don't think it was a face mask piece. It was just one of the Oakland players getting a little
Personal foul. Late hit. Number 41 on the defense. First down.
Was a late hit.
Saladin Martin. I didn't know the president was going to be at this game.
He's at Camp David. 48-yard line. That's Martin, 41. Michigan sitting. Good field position. Leading in the ball game 10-7. 4:56 to go in the first half. And John Williams rolls it across midfield and goes down at the Oakland 46.
Tom Dornbrook. Another one of the people from Pittsburgh, number 63, pulling on the play. Loops around the center. Right here to block on number 51, Gary Plummer. Creates the hole. The other guy, number 61, is Tyrone McGriff. You don't want to have him falling on you. He's been up to 300 pounds at times.
Second down and 4. Oakland 46. Williams again, and he's got the first down.
I'll tell you, I get so much pleasure watching number 61, Tyrone McGriff. John Williams did a great job keeping his balance. Tyrone McGriff, after he makes a block in the line of scrimmage, one of the first people downfield trying to pick up an extra block. That time, Williams on the ground. He jumped over Williams and reached over and just collared one of his guys from the secondary of the Oakland Invaders. Didn't let go quick. He said, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hurt you.
Lewis Jackson has gone to the dressing room for treatment of that pull muscle in his right leg. Hebert to throw. Goes for Carter. At the 20. First down, Panthers. He beat Kenny Daniel. Nobody is better with his great speed, at flying down the field, pushing that defensive back off of him, and then coming back to the ball.
Speed is an excellent asset to have, but only when you know how to use it. Look at him push Kenny Daniels back on that big cushion. Then he stops, turns it in. Timing very good on this play. Bobby Hebert anticipating. Anthony Carter stopping, turning around. He's a small receiver. He's only 162 pounds, but he is improving in leaps and bounds this year, finding out that you can catch more than 1 or 2 passes in the game.
Folks down the road in Ann Arbor are sure going to miss him. From the 20, Hebert hands it off, and Williams is going no place this time. Number 58, David Shaw, big rookie out of California, an outside linebacker for Oakland, stopped him.
Oakland had everybody coming that time on the blitz. David Shaw, number 58, getting there first. They'll mark the ball, about a 3-yard loss, where the contact was made on the hit.
I think Oakland's going to have to do more blitzing, don't you?
I think so. They've got to put pressure on Bobby Hebert. When they do blitz, however, they may find themselves in man-to-man coverage, and that's just how they destroyed the Chicago blitz.
That's right. Coming up on 2 minutes to go. Whistle will stop it. So Hebert checking off.
2-minute
Did
warning.
not get the play off. A 2-minute warning. So Bobby, a little inexperience showing there. He could have had an opportunity to run a play and then take the time to talk about the next play.
Well, he looked up and saw a blitz, so he wanted to get out of it.
2 minutes to go in the first half of play. The ball is at the Oakland 23, where it is 2nd down and 13. Number 11 is Bobby Hebert, the quarterback. That's George Dixon with his back to you. Jim Stanley, the head coach, wearing the headset. Stanley talking to the people upstairs in the Michigan coaching box, trying to come up with a series now with 2 minutes to play to increase their lead, which stands now at 10-7 over Oakland.
Very often, the team does reflect the personality of their coach. This Michigan team, very competent team, poised. They make a great play, they get excited, but for the most part, they just stay cool. And you've seen the pictures of Jim Stanley on the sideline. He treats a fumble or a bad play the same way he treats a touchdown. Just a little bit of a stone face, waiting for the final results to show any kind of emotion.
Williams, big blocking right side, takes it down to the 20. If John had been able to cut it back a little sharper, he might have gotten more yardage out of it, but he gets 3.
He's tackled by number 54, Frank Manu Maliuna. Little blocking, shoving going down there. Anthony Carter on Kenny Daniel, number 29, a defensive back for the Invaders. Anthony Carter, a small man. As we take a look at Frank, doesn't have a lot of strength, with only 160 plus pounds. Tries to get good position on the defensive corner when he's blocking.
3rd down and 10 from the 20. McClain, an extra wide receiver in now. They've got 3 wides. Cedric Hartman was offside, but Cedric now is going to argue he was
drawn offside.
Drawn off.
Number 70 on the offense.
Chris Godfrey. The Oakland Invaders are moving around on defense, showing blitz. You see, Godfrey just moved a bit. That's all it takes. Spotted by the officials. They're moving around a lot on defense. They're showing blitz. Bobby Hebert is trying to audible, trying to get out of it, trying to get the right play up against the blitz. That time, Godfrey couldn't wait.
It's 3rd down and 15 after the penalty. Hebert looking down the middle. Goes instead to the short man, and that's interference. Derek Martin, number 24, banged into Derek Holloway.
That he did. He just came up over the top, over his back. Made the contact just a bit too soon.
I'm not so sure that Hebert couldn't have had Carter down on the post pattern.
He could have, but he looked away from him. Let's look at Holloway. He comes off. That's number 42, Frank Duncan. He's working against. Gets a little push to the outside. He turns here, breaks the outside. Now he's open there. Bobby scrambling. Then over the top comes Martin. And here's Anthony Carter. Watch him break on the post pattern. Right there, he looks wide open. He's coming out of the top of the picture. Number 40, Marcus Quinn, was behind him. He's waving his hand saying, I was open, I'm free.
The penalty puts the football just inside the Oakland 13, where it is a first down for the Michigan Panthers. A minute 19 to play in the first half. Michigan leading 10-7. Hebert goes to Lacey. Kim Lacey out of the backfield is to the 5. Make it the 6.
Now there's a good run by Lacey, but Anthony Carter is in a heated argument right now with number 29, Kenny Daniels. He's just a little upset. He was blocking. Daniels came over, was on top of him, had a few words. You saw Daniel coming up, pointing his finger. Obviously a move to try and intimidate the smooth receiver out of Michigan. You watch Anthony Carter. He's driving downfield, trying to get him off, trying to get open. Turns around. He's trying. Just kind of bumps into him from behind, pushes him, and I'm sure Kenny Daniels is saying it's a clip. Right there, he's on top of him, giving a few words with a hand on his throat.
Hand on his throat, huh?
You listen to a man when he's got his hands on your throat.
Hebert is 7 out of 10 for 100 yards. He's hit 5 in a row now. The clock is stopped with the timeout. 1:05 to play as Michigan has the football just short of the Oakland 5. They want to get in the end zone. 1:05 to play in the first half. Michigan knocking on the door. It's been a tough first half of play. Oakland hanging in there, playing some good, solid football. Anthony Carter remonstrating on the sideline with his teammates about the ruckus he's been having down there with the Oakland corners.
I know how it feels. Receivers, us small receivers, can't let those defensive backs get the upper hand.
It's second down and a short 3 yards for a first down. Outside the 5, they go to John Williams. And he does not get back to the line of scrimmage.
John Williams, a bit of indecision. He tackled by Gary Plummer. Couldn't make up his mind whether he wanted to take the ball and turn it inside or string along to the outside. You see the defense. They get inside, plug up the middle. Plummer gets good position right there. And he waits, makes the hit. Gets a little help from Frank Maliuna. Number 25, Fred Williams.
Ball comes back to the 7. They need to get inside the 3 for the first down. They send Lacey up the middle, and he's close to the first down. And Hebert calls time. 18 seconds to play in the first half.
Profile of 2 winning coaches in their division.
Monty Bennett hurt on the play.
Monty Bennett down on the turf.
Monty's a defensive end out of Kansas State. Played a year with the New Orleans Saints. He got caught on the bottom of the pile. And he's obviously shaken up quite a bit. So time is out for him with 18 seconds to play. And I didn't see the indication of a first down. So apparently they're just short of it.
Just short?
Had to get inside. The ball is sitting right on the 3. And
discussion on the sideline with Bobby Hebert. Boston checks standing above his injured player. Whether you go for the field goal or whether you try and get the first down and call a timeout quickly.
It is up. He will leave the ball game. Michigan has 1 timeout remaining with 18 seconds on the clock. Lejovich has come on the field on 4th down and a half a yard. So he's out there with his kicking tee, and I guess they're going to go for 3.
Yep.
Instead of trying to stick it in the end zone, they decide to send the place kicker out.
Well,
But don't bet
back.
them.
Bobby Hebert and the
Carter
receivers.
and Derek Holloway. The tight ends are coming out. Bojovich comes back off the field. The crowd loves it. So on 4th down and a half yard, Michigan's going for the touch. Or at least the first down. With only one timeout remaining and 18 seconds to play, I would expect them to try for the first down. Oakland now wants a timeout.
No.
They might be able to get Monty Bennett back in there if he's been able to shake off the impact of being hurt. Oakland now with 2 timeouts remaining. And Hebert comes trotting back to the Michigan side to talk again with the coaches.
Monty Bennett took a shot to the neck. He may be back in on the next series when they come back in after the half.
Lewis Jackson has gone into the locker room with a deep thigh bruise, but he's now, I see, sitting on the bench again. 4th and a half a yard for Michigan. Hebert on a rollout. Pops it in the end zone for Carter. Touchdown.
Gutsy play. Oh. 60,000 fans came out to support the Michigan Panthers, and they're not going to be let down. At least if you leave it up to Bobby Hebert, the coach, Anthony Carter, a quick turnaround pattern there in the end zone, makes a catch in traffic. Bobby Hebert put a little speed on that ball. Touchdown.
Bojovich for the extra point. Good. 11 seconds to play in the first half, and Michigan now goes out to a 17-7 lead.
And everyone in this stadium expected this team just to get the first down. They come up with a pass play, taking a chance. Let's look at the defensive play. There's not a lot of room to back up into the end zone. They just played along the line of scrimmage. Everybody's following the flow of the play. Bobby Hebert gets an open seam right there, rifles it in quickly, in between Frank Manu-Maliona, number 54, number 29 for the Invaders defense. Carter, excited, spikes the football.
Pretty fair pair of hands.
Oh, not bad. He's finding everything on his high fives, too.
They're going over his playlist that he carries on his left arm. The plays are wigwagged in from the sideline by Mark Miller, reserve quarterback. Billy Yancey is now a deep man with Mark Lewis for Oakland to receive the kickoff from the Michigan Panthers' Novo Bojovich with only 11 seconds to play in the first half. Well, it's knocked down up front by number 59 for Oakland, Dean Moore, a linebacker. And Moore, running like a fullback, comes all the way out to the 44-yard line. And 3 seconds to play. Oakland gets 1 play.
Oh, Bojovich just squirming the ball, keeping it on the ground, wanting one of the big people to handle it, forcing him to use up more of the clock. They would not have minded if that big man had taken the ball and run out down to the 30-yard line just as long as he didn't score and used up all the seconds on the clock. Now the Oakland Invaders will have to run at least 1 play. And at this point, Keith, I just put in my wide receiver, send him downfield, and take a chance, throw one deep.
Throw it up and see what happens, because the half will not end on a penalty against the defense.
Minnesota Vikings were always so good at that. They seem to come up with that play more often than any other team in professional football.
And 1 turnover by Oakland really hurt him. His first turnover. Michigan got 3 points and sort of took away momentum. They'll work out of the shotgun now with Pisana deep. He's got a lot of time. Throws it as far as he can. And it's knocked away. David Greenwood, who wanted the interception. Just for the record, if nothing else, the first half is over. And after 30 minutes of football here at the Silverdome, the Michigan Panthers lead the Oakland Invaders 17-7. The winner goes to Denver. As we indicated today, that we would have a new record crowd for the United States Football League, and the reason for it is the man that owns this franchise, Alfred Taubman. He took a bold step in marketing. Instead of raising the ticket prices for a playoff game, he reduced them down to $8.50. He went on and he bought 12,000 parking spaces for $5 each and sold them to the customers for $3. You just got a little bulldog in you to go ahead and do that.
Well, I thought it made good sense. We have wonderful fans here in Michigan, and we wanted to give them an opportunity to all be able to come out here today, and they came.
Now, do you think it's possible now that your move and the response by your patrons here in Michigan could start something in the USFL, a ticket price reduction across the league?
Not necessarily. I think each market have to determine what their needs are, and we determined what our needs were, and that's our direction, and whatever the other team owners want to do, that's up to them.
You started out 1-4, stumbling some, but your people have produced a heck of a football team.
Well, they worked hard, and I think we had to learn. It took us time to get started, and once we got started, we took off, and I hope we continue to take off. Seems like we're doing well here today, and I hope our men continue to do as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the visit, and good luck.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Alfred Taubman, the owner of the Michigan Panthers. Kevin Shea getting ready to kick off for the Oakland Invaders as the Invaders trail in this football game by 10 points. What do you think, Lynn Swan, for this second half?
Well, I think Oakland is definitely going to have to open up their offense more, take a few more chances. They're going to have to put the ball in the air. Arthur Whittington is going to have to come to this ball game and give him a hand. I think they miss him a great deal.
That's a very high kick by Shea. Just inside the goal line, Lionel Fee coming back with it, and down he goes with some authority at the 18. Here are the statistics for the first half of play.
Well, the total yardage isn't really that high. Michigan, after the interception, had excellent field position, didn't have to move the ball that far. Everything is about even. Everything's even except for the points on the scoreboard and turnovers. The one turnover resulted in 3 points for the Michigan Panthers.
I thought it sort of resulted in a little shift, though, in momentum, too. I thought at that point Michigan sort of got the upper hand.
Well, I think coming into this ball game, Oakland knew they would have to play one of their best ball games to win. And with Arthur Whittington not in there and that story developing on their team, it took some of the air out of them.
On the first play, Ken Lacey has the football, tries to run over Derek Martin. Martin hangs in there pretty well, pulls his shoe off and his sock, and then throws it aside. And Lacey says, "What are you doing with my shoe?"
Derek Martin is mad. He is trying to get something going in that secondary, intimidate the ball players any way he can. If Derek Martin can get an Anthony Carter, a Ken Lacey, a Derek Holloway upset to throw a punch, get them out of the ball game, it's a good move. We saw a game where Antonio Gibson from Philadelphia was ejected, but it was Lenny Willis of Chicago who actually made the first move.
Cleo Miller is in, replacing Lacey as he comes off to get a shoe back on, and John Williams just powers it over the right side and moves it across the 25 to about the 26.
Well, again, all the weight falling on the inside linebackers to try and fill in the holes and make the plays. Plummer makes a tackle here. You see Maliuna being blocked out, not being able to get in on the play.
Tom White stops it for a moment. Now they've got everything in place, and 3rd down and 2 for Michigan. From the 26. Hebert rolls it out on 3rd and short, throws it back across, and it's intercepted by David Shaw. Touchdown! He threw it right into Shaw's hands. He was trying to throw it back across and set up Mike Cobb with a tight end screen, and it blew up in his face.
I don't think Bobby Hebert I don't think Bobby Hebert saw David Shaw because of the rush that he is facing. Let's take a good look. Watch, he's trying to set up a tight end screen. You see the pressure. Number 86, Cedric Hartman coming in. Right there. I don't even think he saw him. Throws the ball right to him. He waltzes into the end zone, 19 yards for a very unexpected turnover and touchdown.
That's almost like coming home and finding a prize jewel on your front doorstep with no name on it. A kick for the point is good by Shea, and how do you do? All of a sudden, it's close again at 17-14. And a big moment for David Shaw. So the gimme touchdown for Oakland, and they're right back in it. Timeout. Well, Oakland will kick off after that gift touchdown on a play that just startled to me that they would even call it. With that big offensive line that can control the line of scrimmage, and with those big backs, why in the world do you go to a gimmick play like that on 3rd and 2?
Well, I think they were just trying to get too much too soon, trying to come up with the unexpected to get a big play instead of just getting the first down.
Shea's kickoff goes well back into the end zone and will not be returned. Now here is Tim Brandt with David Shaw.
David's running back on the field, but I've got to ask you, were you surprised at the play?
No, not really. It was kind of surprised that they called it right there, right after halftime, but I caught him, you know.
Have you ever scored a touchdown?
No, that's my
first touchdown, Keith.
Well, let him go, Timmy. Get him in the ball game.
John Ralston will be after you. He needs him.
Well, David Shaw, you know, you score your first touchdown and you're on defense. You get an opportunity. He wanted to take full advantage of it.
So now, Bobby Hebert, I'm sure shocked and perhaps even humbled just a bit. He is back in there now to see what he can do for the Michigan offense from the 20. Lacey is back in the backfield with his shoe back on. Going to throw. There's no pressure. He swings it out to John Williams. Gets him out there one-on-one, and Williams is good for close to 9 yards on the play. Kenny Daniel finally knocked him out of bounds.
John Williams coming out of the backfield on the swing route. Bobby Hebert looking downfield for one of his wide receivers. They were covered. Dumped the ball to the outside, and Anthony Carter got back in time to throw a little block. Help Williams pick up a few extra yards.
2nd down and 1. Now here's the circumstance where you might want to go for something big.
Sure. That way, if it doesn't come up, you still have 3rd in a short yardage situation.
They give it to Lacey, and Lacey gets the first down as he reaches the 31 before he is tumbled back.
I thought Lacey would have bounced that to the outside. He got there, had a block out in front of him, then just cut it up inside. Still gets the first down.
Kenny's having trouble with his attire. He lost his towel that time, and he had to go poking into the middle of the Oakland defensive unit to get his towel back. First down from the 31 for Michigan, 17-10. 17-14, a 3-point lead now after a 17-7 halftime lead. We're just starting the 3rd quarter of play. The winner goes to Denver to play Philadelphia next Sunday night. Hebert, with all the time in the world, bounces the ball in front of Derek Holloway. Didn't get it up. He had Holloway coming back to the ball, curling back into the middle.
Small receiver, big heart. They call him Smurf. Papa Smurf.
It is 2nd down and 10.
Wonder how many people told Derek Holloway and Anthony Carter when they were growing up they were too small to play this game.
And Lynn Swan.
But my mouth was bigger.
Hebert lofts it over, intended for the tight end Mike Cobb. And with the pressure coming, missed it.
Almost intercepted. The ball was thrown well over the head of Cobb. Number 29, Kenny Daniels, was coming across. Number 25, Fred Williams, is also in position. Might have been able to make the play. Take a look at the blitz again. Top of the frame. McClanahan coming in. Trying to force it. He's blocked to the outside by Ken Lacey.
Michigan in this ball game, 2 out of 8 on their third down conversion tries. They're looking at 3rd and 10 now. See if Oakland blitzes. Nope. They drop back into zone. And Hebert has time. Throws to Lacey. Lacey breaks the tackle and gets the first down. Pitches the ball out to John Williams. Williams is working the sidelines, and he's finally out of bounds at the Oakland 26.
And again, there's a scuffle on the field. The secondary of the Oakland Invaders trying to intimidate Anthony Carter. What a play by Lacey. She breaks tackles. I thought there was some doubt whether he'd get the catch and make the first down. Let's take a look at it. Bobby's hit a wobbly pass. Ken Lacey gets it right there. He's hit. That's not a tackle. He's got to get out and grab him. Now he's being pulled down, just hands it off, flips it back to John Williams. Derek Holloway downfield, trying to get a block. Pitch inside, cuts number 24, Derek Martin.
And it's first down for the Michigan Panthers. The ball is just inside the 27 of Oakland. And Hebert back to throw. Goes to the sideline route to Anthony Carter, and it's too high. Hebert didn't have much zip on that ball.
He didn't have much zip on it. That's a long pass and throw it to the sidelines. Let's take a look at AC, Anthony Carter. Comes off the ball. He's got that big cushion to work with. Just a simple down and out route. You see Bobby Hebert in the middle of the picture. Just gets the ball a little bit too high. And to the outside. Anthony Carter just off his fingertips.
Second down and 10 at the Oakland 26. Three-point ball game, 17-14. They send it inside to John Williams. And Williams is inside the 20.
The quick hitting play up the middle. The quarterback, you see Cedric Hartman, number 86. He's slipping in, reading the blocking. Right there, he gets caught. His charge upfield. Bobby Hebert, reverse ball handling. He takes the ball, does a complete turn, handing the ball off deep in his backfield.
Third down and 3 for Michigan at the 19 of Oakland. Hebert flips it out. Lacey gets the first down. Lacey is out of bounds at the 11.
Ken Lacey getting a lot of work. Lacey came into the ball game with 40 catches for 433 yards and 2 touchdowns.
There's your attendance for today, 60,237. That is a new record for the United States Football League.
And I don't think, you can tell by those faces, no one is disappointed with the way their home team is playing and enjoying the afternoon.
Michigan trying to respond after literally giving Oakland a touchdown. And they've got it first down at the Invader 11. Blitz is on. Duncan trying to get through. Can't do it. Cobb with a one-hand tip and a grab and down around the 2.
What a catch by the big tight end, Mike Cobb.
Played his college ball up at East Lansing, Michigan State.
Cobb comes off the line of scrimmage. He's going to have some contact here. Breaks to the outside. You've got to have great concentration. Be able to make the, look at that little, he gets his arms underneath, rolls on him. One-handed catch. He stops it, brings it in. Doesn't waste any time trying to get ahead into the end zone.
Second down and 1 for the first down. 2 yards for the touchdown. Figures Williams here. He's got it. He doesn't score, but he may have the first down.
Well, I think you can, the Oakland defense can anticipate Williams carrying the ball again. You said before, including the touchdown he scored today, He has 13 touchdowns on the season. Lacey came into this ball game with 6. This means that when they get close, when they're going for the 1 yard, in close to the end zone, Williams is the man they want to have the football.
First and goal, less than a yard away. The quarterback, Hebert.
Touchdown. Bobby Hebert being picked up by Tom Dornbrook. You saw John Ralston stalking the sideline, a victim of a gadget play after using the reverse in the first half.
Guy that made it, though, Swanee, was John Williams.
Well, John Williams is
and Lacey, of course.
Just wedging in front. Bobby Hebert.
So the two running backs are the stars of that particular possession as Michigan regains its 10-point advantage. Running the score now to 24-14 with 9 minutes and 55 seconds to play in the third quarter. Michigan kickoff to Oakland. Billy Yancey and Mark Lewis, the deep backs. Lewis Jackson is on the sidelines with that thigh bruise. I don't know if he's going to return or not. Vojovich didn't get much of that. It's a very, very short kick, and guess who's got it? David Shaw, who intercepted the pass and scored the touchdown, and David's now bucking for a fullback job as he comes out across the 35 to the 36.
So the way a couple of Michigan Panthers bounced off of him, he could get that fullback job.
All right, here's the man that runs the Oakland offense, Fred Basana, coming onto the field now. His team trailing by 10 points. The opening possession of the ball game for Oakland, it was very impressive as they took it down and scored a touchdown, 78-yard march. Since that time, Michigan has pretty well shut them down. You let Michigan get rolling on you, boy, and duck. Arthur Whittington is in at the I-back position now for Oakland. He's a very good pass receiver. Basana said, wait a minute, and walks away as the crowd comes up roaring, and there's no way in the world that his wide people could hear him give the snap count. I'm not even sure the center could hear it.
Well, whenever I play indoors, Dome Stadium, it's so difficult to hear that quarterback. You got to look in from your wide receiver position, almost trying to read his lips through the face mask. Of course, the best thing to do is get a play called, pick up some good yardage, then the fans quiet down very quickly.
Yeah, nothing like a 25-yard gain to hush them.
I'll tell you one thing, Keith. First year in the USFL, 60,000 people. I think the Oakland Invaders rather enjoyed all that cheering.
Well, here we go again. Basana gets the play off, turns the ball to Arthur Whittington, and he's out for the 40. Picked up about 4 yards. Now let's check in with our partner, Tim Brandt.
And Kenny Lacey's the man that made the catch in the lateral for Michigan on that last offensive series. Was that a design play?
No, it wasn't a design play. Well, I saw John, you know, he has a wide route out there, and I saw him coming up the sideline. So I figured he'd get a little more yards than I did, so I just tossed it back to him.
Go ahead, tell him what you told me. He said he's got to do something special on TV for you, Keith.
All right. We're enjoying his work. From the 41, Basana back. Looks and looks, and he has plenty of time. Now he throws it away.
He had plenty of time, all right. Very nice play-action fake by Basana, but he didn't take a deep drop at all. Just stood there right behind the center, looking for a receiver, couldn't find one, put the ball out of bounds.
The previous attendance record, in case you're curious, was the 53,370, and Herschel Walker and the New Jersey Generals played their first home game against Tampa Bay. But they've got 60,237 here at the Silverdome today. It's 3rd down and 6. Vasana drills it. Pass is caught by Gordon Banks for a first down at the Michigan 48-yard line.
Well, Vasana, a man who been sacked frequently throughout the season, is doing a good job rolling out, using the play action, throwing the short passes, keeping people off of him. Gordon Banks driving, number 22, Clarence Chapman downfield and curling inside. Hebert scrambling on the rollout. Finds him. Picks up the first down. Since that 78-yard drive in the first half, so far this has been the best possession for the Oakland Invaders. Their only possession in the second half.
Vasana, throw again. Gets it off just as he is hit. And Banks is out of bounds as he collides with Chapman, but he was out of bounds when the ball got there.
Had Chapman underneath. Greenwood over the top. He's going for it.
Kyle Borland was in all over Vasana just as Fred released the ball. Borland is a rookie out of Wisconsin. Played for Dave McClain up there, and he's a good one.
We'll take a look at it here. Number 52 is Kyle Borland. Being blocked, sheds a blocker, and right there gets a little piece of Vasana, but after he throws the ball.
Second down 10. Whittington outside, never got a handle on it. Michigan's got it. Ray Bentley.
Ray Bentley is a man who teamed up with Greenwood to hit Wyatt Henderson and cause the intercepted pass by Kyle Borland in the first half. Does a great job getting on the fumble, and it's another turnover. The Michigan Panthers have the ball on the 43-yard line and will be driving.
So Arthur Whittington just never really got a handle on it.
Never got a handle on the ball. He is just eaten up right there by number 99, Ronnie Padgett. Then number 50 comes in and just jumps all over it. Ray Bentley having a fine day.
He wasn't going to go anywhere with it anyhow.
Not at all.
The ball is marked just inside the Oakland 43. Reverse it to Holloway. And he gets something out of it. A little scooter from Arkansas takes the football down to the 31.
And put his head down and right into the stomach of Derek Martin. He said, if you're going to stand there and wait for me, I'm going to give you something. This is actually a very slow developing reverse. There's a lot of traffic in the backfield. Right there you see him getting some good blocks. Reading his blocks, he gets one up front by Dornbrook. Gets to the outside, runs away from someone. Right there, just puts his shoulder down and drives Derek Martin back for a few more yards. First down for the Michigan Panthers. Look at that difference.
They send Lacey inside as Oakland showed blitz. There's no fumble.
Number 42, Frank Duncan. And number 40, Marcus Quinn, turning around and finding no one there except for big number 70, Chris Godfrey. And they don't want to argue with him too much. He's a little bit bigger than Holloway and Carter.
3 yards, second down, 7. John Ralston, knowing well now that his defensive unit's starting to wear down some. They're getting tired. Been out there a long time. 8 minutes to go in the third quarter, and they were out there most of the second quarter. And Lacey, power runner inside the 20 to the 18. Well, I mean, there is nothing fancy, just brute strength.
Well, what's happening on that play, Keith? Oakland is showing blitz all the way. They're getting ready to bring everybody. What Quinn? You see number 40, Quinn, is coming up on the line of scrimmage, Marcus Quinn. What they're doing on the offense of Michigan, just a quick hitting play, the trap right up the middle. Get the people, get the back quickly into the secondary because there's no one there. You see Quinn is chasing him from behind because he's up on the blitz.
Monty Bennett is down hurt on the play. Second injury of the game to Bennett.
You see Boydie Quinn again coming up on the blitz. He is out of the play. The play hits quickly up front. That's number 51, Gary Plummer, hanging on to Ken Lacey. He doesn't hang on to that shoestring. It's a Lacey touchdown.
The ball is marked at the 19 as Bennett walks off the field with the Oakland trainers. And it is a first down for Michigan.
Did you say that was off Bermuda Key? Reminds me of my fishing trip. Wonder if I could have caught a whale on the 12-pound line.
Cleo Miller is in the backfield now with Lacey. Lacey's got it. He fumbles a football, and David Shaw's got it.
They tried once too often on the same play, that quick hitting play in the middle. Ken Lacey, the ball stripped away from him. Shaw, ball's on top of him.
So Michigan turns it over for the second time today.
Take a look here. Bobby Hebert, Chris Godfrey pulling. Right there, number 58. Strips the ball away from him.
He made that play all to himself, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
By himself. So Shaw becoming the big star of the ball game for Oakland as the Invaders get the ball back at their own 18, trailing by 10. Both teams now have turned over the football twice. Oakland in its last possession looked like they were going to be able to move it a little bit against the Michigan defense as they went to the play action series. But turned it over. Now Michigan's giving it back. Osana gives it off to Ted Terosian, the fullback, and he moves it from the 18 out to the 24. That's a 6-yard pickup on first down now and opens up other possibilities for Fred Vasana.
And 57, John Corker got up pretty slow that time. He's in on the tackle.
Whittington, no place to go. And then nothing doing. Kyle Borland did it all by himself. Took the blocker and the ball carrier.
Well, Arthur Whittington got behind his blocker instead of cutting it upfield, just ran right into his back. Did make a cut.
In total offense now, Lynn Swan, Michigan shows the big edge, 289 to only 140.
Well, a great deal of that has to be in the third period. Received the ball in the opening kickoff, started to drive, turned it over, then got the ball back, and then went the length of the field for a touchdown. They possessed it throughout this third period.
5:55 to go in quarter number 3. 24-14 Michigan. Vasana back to throw it, gets it off over the middle, and it's good to Gordon Banks for a first down out at the 40.
Gordon Banks finding the big holes in the secondary. Obvious passing situation. The defensive secondary in a deep zone, dropping back. Right there, he just finds number 25 deep, too deep, and he just breaks it across in front of him. Number 21, Oliver Davis, was also deep. Gordon Banks doesn't need a move when he sees a zone. All he has to do is just find an open area.
Whittington comes back now to line up with Terosian. He hadn't played in 2 weeks because of the cracked rib. Vasana drops. Throws short to his fullback, Terosian. He takes some punishment from Borland and Bentley.
He took a tough hit. He is not going to get up without some help. He was hit low, and as he was in the air, was sandwiched between number 50, Ray Bentley, 59, Robert Pennywell, 52, Kyle Borland, all in on the stop.
down to Tim Brent.
Next to me, David Shaw is having a fine football game, but I know that you want this offense to put some points on the board. Defense is making things happen, though.
Yeah, well, the defense, we're just trying to stop them, hold them in check right now, and get our offense an opportunity to get on track and get things going. You know, we're still into the game.
Scored a touchdown, an interception, fumble recovery. Have you ever had a game like this?
Well, not for a while.
And it feels good, Keith.
Well, he called him the young David Shaw. He's 26 years old. Yeah, he's a lot younger than Tim Brant.
Looks it, too. The ball is at the 47. We're at 2nd down and 3 as Terosian jogs off the field. He was deflated by that crunching from the Michigan linebacker.
Well, the cheerleaders of the Michigan Panthers hope that they can fly down to Denver and do some more cheering.
2nd and 3. Holmes is in, replacing Terosian. Desana shoots it and gets the first down as he finds Raymond Chester between linebackers.
Pennywell again in on that stop, along with number 52, Mike Borland. So far in the day, they have not been able, the Michigan Panthers defense has not been able to consistently or effectively get to Fred Basana. He's kept them at bay.
One of the things about the Oakland ball game today that's beginning to show up now, Basana had been sacked 76 times coming into this division playoff, but today they've been able to get him only one time for a 1-yard loss. Going to reverse it to Mark Lewis. Second time they've run it. Second time it works for big yardage. All the way down to the Michigan 23-yard line.
Oliver Davis, number 21, makes a good open field tackle. Second time they run it for big yardage. Michigan Panthers defense pursuing very well on all the plays. Get them going in the wrong direction, reverse it back. There's no help on that backside.
Lewis has carried it twice on that reverse play and picked up a total of 45 yards. They mark it at the 22 of Michigan, where it's first down for Oakland. And Terosian comes back in, replacing Holmes, the fullback. Oakland's going to spend a timeout here. So Fred Basana doesn't want to, but he spends a timeout with 3:01 to play in the third quarter. Winner goes to the championship game next Sunday night in Denver, 8 o'clock Eastern Time, which you will see here on ABC television. Oakland needs some points here. A lot of movement and motion. And Basana back, flips his own, gets his pass off, and it is incomplete. Penalty flags are down.
There'll be some kind of pass interference. Thrown deep in the secondary.
There's a flag thrown back where Basana released the ball to. Could be holding.
Well, they came in on the blitz, and they may just call it a late hit, roughing the passer. Wait and see.
Apparently got some druthers here. Now they've sorted it out.
Number 22, Clarence Chapman.
Personal foul roughing the passer against Michigan.
And
illegal block.
You see the blitz. Watch right here as the safety, number 25, John Arnott, comes in on the blitz, and he jumps into the air. After Basana's released the ball, knocks him to the ground.
And the penalty moves the football down to the 11.
On the defense, penalty is declined. We have a personal foul, roughing the passer, number 24 on the defense. Penalty is accepted. First down.
See, Kyle Boland was holding up Arthur Whittington as Whittington tried to work into a short zone area. So they take the greater penalty, which is the 15-yard personal foul against the quarterback. And the football is now at the Michigan 11, first down for Oakland. So the Invaders are very much in this hunt. Knocking on the door. Jack Holmes is in at fullback. Ted Terosian carries the ball, fumbles it, and Michigan's going to come away with it.
50, Ray Bentley. Number 98, Alan Hughes, recovering the fumble. Physical defense can create turnovers. Let's watch and see how that happens. Terosian gets the ball. He's going to the outside. He gets a good block right there. You see Hughes chasing him right there.
He's got the ball in the wrong hand.
Just comes up and pops it loose. Sticks his helmet right on it. You're right. He's carrying the ball in his right hand. And that's where all the pursuit will come from when he's running to his left. Of course, when you're not used to carrying the ball in your left hand, you know, that's just as dangerous.
Better learn how. You're going to be a running back.
If he does learn how, it'll be one play too late.
So Michigan takes over, first down at their own 17. Oakland's third turnover. Hebert looking to eat up some real estate in a hurry. Goes deep to Carter, and he's out there. Oh, they finally hem him up.
Anthony Carter lost yards on the play by coming back.
He wanted 6.
What a play.
60 yards.
All he does is run, but he runs faster than anybody else, straight down the field. Number 29, Kenny Daniels thought he was going inside, stayed outside. No, he gets right up here to the 30-yard line. Now he's at almost a 34, the 26-yard line. He starts to put on some moves, trying to get away. Didn't really lose that many yards. He's on the sideline now, getting a little breather.
Very near the 27 of Oakland. 60-yard pass play. Hebert still looking for it. That's caught by Derek Holloway. And it's going to be enough for a first down.
They're going to work on number 29, Kenny Daniels. Anthony Carter coming back says, wait a minute, let me get in on some of this fun. Haven't had enough yet.
Not quite a first down. Just missed the mark.
Number 29, Kenny Daniels, holding his shoulder. Looks like he's got a problem there. Teammate signaling that he should come off the field. It's like right shoulder it is. He was kind of trying to hold it up. May have just bruised it a bit. 3 catches, 82 yards, and 1 touchdown. Anthony Carter, number 1 pick for the Michigan Panthers.
Second down and a yard. John Williams. And he doesn't quite get it. They knock him out of bounds at the 19, so now they're looking at 3rd and 2.
24, Jake Martin makes a tackle. Anthony Carter, you should have seen him trying to block the linebacker. He knows part of his job is to get some blocks when he's downfield. But watch Anthony Carter. He's only 165 pounds, and that's Gary Plummer, number 51. And he does a good job screening him off. Doesn't knock him down, but he keeps him away from making the play.
3rd and 2. I don't know.
It'll be close.
This Oakland defensive bunch, they've been burned on some big plays, but they've got some grit. They're hanging in.
That they are. 40 seconds on the clock. 10-point lead for the Invaders, for the Panthers, excuse me. And they're short by about a yard, half a yard.
Gonna go? They're gonna go. Bojovic is on the sideline. Doesn't have his helmet on. So on 4th and a half a yard, they'll go. We gotta figure Williams again. This is John's territory.
Bobby Hebert just may keep it again on the sneak.
Now he gives it to Lacey, and this time Lacey breaks it. Touchdown!
Ken Lacey out of Tulsa. 18 yards off left tackle for the touchdown. 10 seconds remaining in the third quarter. The Michigan Panthers go up.
Watch the hole he gets on the left side.
He gets some great blocking. Number 61, Tyrone McGriff, pulling here on the play. He gets right behind him. The hole just opens up. You see 74 pinning.
Nobody touched him.
Nobody touched him.
Vujovich extra point good. 10 seconds to go third quarter. It is a 31-14 ball game now for Michigan.
This ball club, you've seen just about what they're capable, everything they're capable of doing. Possessing the ball, a good ground attack, a big play. Anthony Carter, 60-yard pass reception. Derek Holloway, the low short pass on the sideline. Ken Lacey, 18-yard scamper off tackle, doesn't get touched. Superb offensive line blocking. Oakland desperately needs a big play here. Vujovich kicks off. The short kick goes to the 5-yard line. And brought up by Billy Yancey, number 23, to the 25-yard line.
All right, Bobby Hebert satisfied now the way things are going as the third quarter comes to an end. And you're watching another exclusive of ABC Sports. Our score, Michigan 31, Oakland 14. We'll be back with the fourth quarter of play after this message and a word from our local station. Pretty well reflect the score. 31-14 Michigan going into this fourth quarter.
244-yard passing for Bobby Hebert. The Michigan Panthers having a big day. All of his receivers playing very well. Starting out the game, hitting his tight end, Mike Cobb, for a couple of quick passes. Then putting the burden on Anthony Carter and some big plays, and Derek Holloway coming up with a couple of good grabs.
Now Oakland's got to move it. They're down by 17. Desana wants to throw, having trouble finding, finally dumps it off to his fullback, Derosian. And Derosian gets 6 yards on the play, out to about 36-37. Bobby Hebert now with Tim Brett.
Bobby, turnovers have hurt them, but you guys seem to be moving the ball at will. Now, did Anthony Carter tell you he could get deep on that play?
Well, no, really, I talked to Coach Slay. He was up in the press box at halftime, and, we were planning to run that the second half, and we were just, figuring out the right time to run it, and we knew they'd be coming up on the run, close to our goal line, so I just told him to get, to beat him deep, and he beat him. Praise the Lord.
Okay, but Keith?
Second down, 4. Just beyond the 31. Got to throw now. Pressure's on, goes short. Derosian caught behind the line of scrimmage at the 29. Coming up, Al Bolin and Robert Pennywell.
Oh, hello, Ted Derosian. They are making them pay fiercely for catching the ball in this ball game. Filling their confidence, playing good, solid football, not not playing with the nerves and a little bit of the tension they had at the opening kickoff. Desana had a little more pressure on him that time.
He's looking at third down and 6. Hands it off to Whittington. Can't get it. Making the play, Ray Bentley.
Who else? Ray Bentley having some kind of game today. Arthur Whittington took the ball and little Statue of Liberty play. Was not running with all of his speed and just got caught from behind. Trying to decide which way to move, didn't turn it upfield.
Carter going back to receive the punt from Stan Talley. Talley's 2 kicks today, 57 and 40.
If you think these people are allowed now because the team is playing well, what would it be like if Anthony Carter ran this one back for a touchdown?
Might blow the roof off. In black shirts, trying to get some pressure on Talley, but he hits a howitzer. Runs Carter all the way back to his 16. You know what? He just might have done it. Save one man. 53-yard punt, 15-yard return. Michigan's ball first down at the 31. And they lead 31-14.
Watch as Ira Albright knocks him back. Usually he runs down the field, no problem. And then he sits on him, leans on him. Says, you're not getting up today, son.
Well, nobody's been paying much attention to Marcus Quinn. You know, they sort of giggle, I guess, when they see a safety man come out to snap, but he has made an awful lot of tackles because nobody has fooled with him. He's just been free to roam. Obviously, the Michigan coaching staff had picked that up and sicked Albright on him. It's first down from the 31 as Lacey goes in there, and he takes some punishment after a yard pickup. I think I said 9 o'clock Eastern a while ago on the baseball promo. I don't want you to be late. It's 8 o'clock.
Well, I think there was a fumble down on the football field, but if there was, I believe... Well, I'm not sure who has possession of the ball. You see Plummer makes a stop right there, and apparently there's a ball on the ground. Michigan, a couple of Michigan people all around it. Michigan maintains possession. Well, we saw George Allen, Chicago Blitz, get very conservative in the fourth period with a big lead, and it cost him.
Sure did.
Michigan has been able to run the ball extremely well, having much more success on the ground than the Chicago Blitz were having yesterday. But they, too, could fall into that trap, feeling the lead is comfortable and getting caught.
Hebert to put it up. Throws it to Lacey. Lacey's dumped just over the 35.
Hit by number 29, Kenny Daniel. Out of San Jose State, the rookie.
Three Michigan wide receivers have caught 3 balls today. One of them poor, Carter, and one player has now caught 2. So Hebert spreading it around out of the 15 completions.
Third down, about 6.
Gets it away, and it is incomplete, and the pressure was on. There were 3 white shirts coming after him, and he let it go a little soon. Carter couldn't get to the ball, and so it brings up a 4th down, and Michigan will punt. Time remaining, 10 minutes and 59 seconds. At a 17-point Michigan lead. 3 turnovers in the ball game by Oakland and 2 by Michigan. David Greenwood's first punt and only punt today, so far, 40 yards. Gordon Banks, the deep man for Oakland.
Oakland with all 10 people on the line of scrimmage. Coming after it.
Greenwood gets it out. High kick. Banks takes it on a fair catch at the 33.
It's a flag down, far side of the field.
I think offside by Oakland.
Might have been a little... Offside against Oakland, but it's not enough for a first down. It's not enough for a
first down, no.
He lifts up his head. He can do that. Snaps the ball. They're all offsides. Center can look between his legs, find the punter, pop his head back up. It's not constituted. It doesn't mean he's trying to draw them offside.
The Michigan defensive unit had gone out onto the field as if they were going to decline it. But now they accept it.
Offside on the defense. Still 4th down.
4th and 1.
4th and 1. Greenwood still in the field, so he's going to punt it.
Well, Oakland would have had pretty good field position out of it. They had the ball up at the 33. Now Greenwood gets 5 on the penalty and will try to hit a little better punt.
It's also a bad snap that time. It bounced on the ground before it got back to Greenwood.
And he gets a better punt out of it. He runs Banks back to the 20, and Gordon again signals fair catch. 39-yard punt with a fair hang time on it. And Oakland gets the ball back with 10 minutes and 46 seconds to play in the ball game, and they are trailing by 17 points. As the folks in Michigan are whooping it up, they're confident their team can handle things now, leading 31-14 with 10:46 to play in the ball game. Oakland has it one more time on their own 20. The offense has been pretty well controlled since the first quarter. Basana's pass good to Mark Lewis. Slips away from one, away from two, away from three, and finally knocked out of bounds by David Greenwood. Big play for Lewis. Mark having a fine day. He's run the reverse twice for 45 yards, and he turned in a substantial gain there to give Oakland good field position on the Michigan side of the field.
Well, the Oakland Invaders made a pretty good substitution today, putting Mark Lewis in for Wyatt Henderson. Wyatt Henderson, who took a great shot coming across the middle early in the ball game, fumbling the football. Mark Lewis coming in. He takes a little short catch on the sideline. And again, bad tackling by the Michigan Panthers at this point.
There's a 33-yard gain on that play.
Good running by Mark Lewis.
Basana throws it. It's slapped at the line of scrimmage, and Jairo Penaranda has no chance to make the catch.
Penaranda was open. One of the big men up front remembered what the coaches kept telling him on the pass rush. Get your hands up in the air when you see the ball about to be thrown.
Basana now is 12 out of 20 for 155 yards and an interception. Quick pattern to the sidelines for Raymond Chester. And Chester is shoved out of bounds by Greenwood, short of the first down. His progress is going to be to about the 40. Greenwood is a big, strong safety. 6'3", 210.
Out of Wisconsin. That's where Mike Webster, the center from Pittsburgh, is, and he's another big, strong one. That guy's just kind of grown that way up in Wisconsin.
Eat the cornbread.
I'll be up there in July.
Going to Hayward, huh?
Chopping down some trees in the Lumberjack Championship.
3rd down and 3. Little quick pop over to Terosian. Good for the first down at the Michigan 34. So, Basana, nickel and dime in here, but moving the football.
Well, he's got 10 minutes to try and bring his team back. That's a lot of time. You see the scoreboard there. Ralston's a man who's patient, knows he has the time to get something done, but he just has to be productive. He has to get some points out of each drive. I'll tell you one thing, Ted Terosian is in good shape. He's got to be to take all the hits he's had today.
Basana has good protection. Jairo Penaranda out of the backfield moves it down to the 25. Picked up 8 yards on that play. He had sent Banks and Lewis on flag routes, but they were just taken away from him by the Michigan secondary.
Set them down deep, spread out that defensive coverage. And if they're covered, you can't get the ball to them, dump it off to the back of the tight end who's short underneath that linebacker coverage. He's done it effectively in this drive.
Henderson is back in the lineup now, and Lewis out for Oakland, with Basana now 10 out of his last 12. For Banks, got it. And a first down at the Michigan 14.
Number 21, Oliver Davis knocking him out of bounds. Very impressive drive so far by Fred Basana, getting his team downfield. And the key to it is the excellent protection. No one's getting to him. He's got enough time. You see Banks getting both feet in bounds before he just falls out of bounds. Oliver Davis just has to show that he was in on the play, standing on the sideline.
Banks has now caught 5 for 72. Pretty good day for Gordon. At the Michigan 14, 8:55 to play in the ball game. A little loop pattern thrown to Mark Lewis. Lewis is in the end zone, but whistles had sounded before the snap of the ball. Frazier, false start. And there is no touchdown. The Invaders have seen a lot of flags this year.
It's a lot of yards to have to make up in any ball game, in any season.
Set up with Lewis to the top, Banks to the bottom of the picture. It's first down and 15 as the ball comes back to the 19. Basana goes short over the middle for Penaranda. Whoa, boy, did Kyle Borland ever nail him.
Well, it looks like when the young men from Pittsburgh came to this team on the offensive line, maybe they told them about being physical too. They're hitting as hard as I've ever seen any team hit.
When I look around here and see Borland, Wisconsin, Greenwood, Wisconsin, John Williams, Wisconsin, how come they didn't win the Big Ten?
How come they didn't what?
Win the Big Ten.
Oh, I don't know. You see the play right there. Penaranda, right, has his hands on it in the air. And he's a sitting duck for Kyle Borland. Just puts that shoulder right in the stomach. Then goes over and pats him on the shoulder and said, come on back and get some more.
Hiro's got to leave the ball game after that whack just to get some air. A tough kid. Second down and 15 from the 19. Basana looks at Lewis, goes for him, and it is intercepted by David Greenwood. Just like a pickup basketball game, he just reached up there and one-handed that thing and took off.
David Greenwood was sitting back, waiting for the ball to come in. Basana been throwing the quick passes all the way down the field. Let's take a look at it from the end zone. Looking for a receiver on the outside. And there's Greenwood. He just steps right in there. Intended for Mark Lewis. Picks it off. Pick number 87, Raymond Chester.
That's the fourth turnover by the Oakland Invaders. And now Michigan regains control of the ball at the 21-yard line with 8 minutes and 40 seconds to play. Handle over to the Michigan Panther offense now with only 8:40 to play and a 17-point lead. If they can run off some first down, it's going to be pretty tough for Oakland to make a meaningful charge. And I'm not going to be as strong as I was yesterday. In the third quarter, I thought Philadelphia was a dead duck. Turned out to be a sleeping bear. Bobby Hebert sets it up and gives the ball to Cleo Miller. And Cleo doesn't get much, maybe a yard, as the Oakland defense continues to pound away. Terry Miller, who had come back to play for his old college coach, Jim Stanley, tore up a thumb pretty badly, and he's not going to be able to play anymore this season. But Terry has remained with the team and has been very active on the sideline. Cleo Miller, of course, put in a considerable amount of years, 9 of them with the Cleveland Browns. He's been around. David Shaw made that tackle, and Shaw now totals 7 tackles, a fumble recovery, and an interception for a touchdown. So David, the outside linebacker for Oakland, has had a big day. Hebert to throw it. Running away from the pressure, and tiptoes out of bounds.
They're chasing a pretty good ways out of bounds, too. McLean, number 52, Dewey McLean.
He almost got his first down. He got it up to the 30. He needed to get it just beyond the 31.
Sitting on the bench right now is number 61, Tyrone McGriff. He came off the field just before that play, holding his back. He's got a couple of trainers around him, and
first part of the third quarter. Yeah, everybody. It just started going in all of a sudden. Right there.
Tyrone, third down, yard and a half. They give it to Cleo Miller, and Cleo has got the first down as he bangs his way out close to the 34.
Marcus Quinn grabbing one leg and waiting for some of his teammates to come over and grab another one so he can make a wish. Right now, he'd wish for some more points.
We'll have the USFL championship game next Sunday night at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. And right now, it's beginning to look like it'll be the Michigan Panthers going in against the Philadelphia Stars. They met once this season, a game that we did in Philadelphia. And I thought Vince Tobin and his defensive people over there turned in one of the great coaching jobs I've ever seen. As they sent everybody, including the cook, in the second half and beat the Michigan Panthers 29-20. It should be a heck of a football game Sunday night if, in fact, Michigan gets out there and a chance to take on Philadelphia again. On first down, they stay relatively conservative, giving it off to the fullback, Cleo Miller. Randy McClanahan with ice on the back of his neck. And time 6:45 to play in the ball game, and a 31-14 ball game with Michigan on top. This Oakland bunch got a lot of grit. They fought hard, played hard. They've had no luck. And having him hurt and having had an indecisive week as well and no practice hasn't helped them either. Hebert flips it up. Lacey. Oh, boy.
He took a good shot from Kenny Daniels. Kenny Daniels showing he can dish out a little punishment for himself.
Lacey took that on the side of the head.
And that's a chance you take. When you take those little swing passes, the quarterback has to lead you. And if the corner or linebacker reads it correctly, he comes up with a head full of steam. Fred Bassana looking on, wanting another chance, and not really looking that confident. He could bring his team back.
At the 35, 3rd down and 9. Hebert lofts it up for Cleo Miller. He's got it. Cleo Miller pumping just as hard as he could. And Hebert just laid it up there, and Cleo ran it down.
Real fine pass by the rookie quarterback. Marcus Quinn makes a tackle, but he drops back. There's Cleo Miller at the top of the screen, going on a little corner route. Gets behind everybody. Nice grab. Excellent pass. Not a conservative play. Cleo Miller. Arkansas, Pine Bluff. Saw too much of him when he was at Cleveland. He did a very good job up there.
Ball is at the 30 of Oakland, where it's first down Michigan. And 5:20 to play in the game. American Sportsman follows at 5 Eastern Time. Be 2 o'clock out on the West Coast. Hebert hands it inside. And Ken Lacey gets 2 to the 28.
Well, they've been doing a good job with the ball on the ground. Keep it on the ground. It runs the clock out. Finish the ball game with the Michigan Panthers on top. And they all go home and get a little rest. I am surprised, actually, at this point, Keith. I don't think that I will come out and say I don't believe that Oakland's going to catch up to Michigan. I think I would take Ken Lacey out of the ball game, give him a little rest. He's got 14 carries for 73 yards on the ground.
Hebert's pass for Carter. Touchdown!
Hey. And he taunts the defense.
Penalty flag against Michigan. Penalty against Michigan. No touchdown. They're coming back. Tom White.
Holding, number 88 on the offense for the tackle. Take down, second down.
Don Eccles, number 88. Let's take a look anyway at Anthony Carter. He's going against number 29, Kenny Daniels. Kenny Daniels has been verbally taunting, pushing, shoving. Anthony Carter staying right in it, goes in the air, gets inside. There's not much of a contest on that matchup. And we're going to see the holding right there at the top of the screen. He just tackles him. We saw one like that yesterday, too.
Michigan, 9 flags, 49 yards. Ball comes back to the 39. Second down, 20. Hebert going to air it out again. Goes short. Pass is good to McDonald Oden, the tight end. And Oden is back to near the original line of scrimmage.
Oden, for a moment there, looked like he was going to run towards the sideline and realized that he wanted to stay in bounds to keep the clock moving. Did so. Dropped down at the 28-yard line.
Third down and 8 for Michigan to keep it. Now time showing at 3:40 to play in the game. 17-point lead, 31-14 for the Panthers. Over the middle, Oden again, down to the 20. Penalty flag. Personal foul coming up, I think, here. Face mask.
Well, it's been the offense of Michigan that has been just as physical at times as their defense.
Grasping the face mask. Number 25 on the defense. First down.
Fred Williams, rookie out of California. And now the defense of the Invaders, a little bit frustrated. You see the pass there to McDonald. Gets the ball, struggling, fighting for the first down. And right there you see the helmet just kind of bending over in the front. Head just coming down hard.
Hebert's had a fair day. He's had better days, 18 out of 27 for 301 yards, but he really hasn't had to today. His ground game has been fairly productive for him. Cleo Miller on a sweep. And Cleo gets down to the 9 for a 6-yard pickup.
He's hog-tied, wrestled out of bounds, or to the ground by number 54, Frank Manuel Maliuna.
Oakland defense is now tired. They're really beginning to show weary signs.
Very fatigued. They played a long, hard football game.
Well, Michigan's run up 458 yards in total offense to this point. So Oakland has 271, which means the Oakland defense has been on the field quite a long time.
Yes. Right now, Bobby Hebert will take a timeout.
At 2:27 to play in the ball game, he comes to the sidelines to talk with Jim Stanley. The ball is sitting at the 9, where it is second down and 4. Philadelphia yesterday had 550 yards in total offense. So I would imagine when Michigan and Philadelphia get together Sunday night at 8 o'clock out in Denver, the ball will move around some.
I think so. Anticipating that Michigan will win this ball game. Both their offenses extremely productive. I think, of course, Michigan might have a better balanced offense.
Let's go down on the field now for John Corker's Tim Brandt talks to it.
John Corker's telling me he's ready for Denver, and I can see you are.
Say, Miss Corker, you ready to go to Denver?
Did you think it'd be this easy? 31-14, one-way game?
I tell you, we prepared hard. We fought hard all year long. We knew what we had in store for us this afternoon. We accomplished what we set out to do by winning this ball game. We got one more to go.
Now, when you got that big lead, I asked if you had seen the game yesterday, and you said absolutely.
One thing about this is Michigan. That happened in Chicago.
All right, Pete.
He's positive.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. John Corker.
Second down and 4 for Michigan at the Oakland 9. John Williams to the corner, to the 4.
He got a good block by number 63, Tom Dornbrook, out in front. He just strung it all the way to the sideline. Picks up the first down.
A record crowd of 60,237 responding to their team's success. Michigan is trying today to win their 12th game in their last 14 after a 1-4 start.
Bobby Hebert.
Going to be a long ride home for John Ralston and his staff and his players, obviously. Tad Toby, the owner of the Oakland franchise. 2 minutes to play in the football game. 2 minutes. And so as you look at the scoreboard, I think you can now start considering the matchup of the Michigan Panthers and the Philadelphia Stars in the championship game Sunday night. John Williams has accounted for 102 yards today. Ken Lacey 105. Lacey runs for 73, receives for 32. Williams rushing 55 and receiving 47. So those two running backs are going to find job for him. Cleo Miller, the deep man out of the eye. They swing Eccles this way, but send Miller the other way. Running it left, cuts it back, touchdown. That is Cleo Miller's first touchdown of the season. He's been a hard-working old pro with this young ball club. And I think somebody probably saw that Cleo hadn't counted one this year, and he got his chance and cashed it in.
We're here with good blocking up front. It's just a fine little short run he makes here. Gets blocking to the outside, sees a hole on the inside, cuts it back into the end zone, and he scores.
Bojovic for the extra point. Missed it. The snap was a little offline to Whit Taylor, but it looked like Whit got it down all right, and Nobo just hooked it out of there.
Oh, Bojovic probably just didn't want to run up the score.
Well, next Sunday night, 1 point might mean a lot.
There you see Jim Stanley talking to Alfred Taubman, the owner. His smile. John Ralston.
I think John's done a heck of a coaching job, though, with his staff to get to the playoffs.
He did a real fine job. He had some injuries along the way. Certainly, I think, again, we have to mention that the situation surrounding Arthur Whittington did not help the productivity of the offense. Probably didn't help as far as their attitude and the psychology of the team coming into this ball game.
37-14, Michigan with 1 minute and 54 seconds to play, and now the Oakland Invaders get the ball one more time.
Jim Stanley, there's Arthur Whittington, number 22, sitting on the bench. Not happy. Back in Pittsburgh, there was a ball player on that team, Keith, 1 year, was also trying to negotiate a contract in the middle of the season. Decided he wouldn't show up for a game, said he wasn't going to make the trip until he got a contract. He ended up playing in Detroit the next year.
1 point. Bouncing kick, fielded by Mark Lewis, and he brings it back to about the 27. So this could be the final possession for the Oakland Invaders with 1 minute and 49 seconds to play in the ball game. In Philadelphia, one of the prime strengths is the offensive line. We saw that come to light yesterday quite dramatically in the fourth quarter, where the older players of Chicago just simply wore down, I thought, to a large degree, and the youngsters in the offensive front took over. Now, Michigan is a very physical, tough defensive football team, but obviously that offensive front of Philadelphia is going to be a little rougher to handle than what they've seen recently.
It's going to be much tougher to handle, but I think what they're obviously going to try and come out. You see
Gordon Banks
catching the ball on the sidelines, getting out of bounds to stop the clock. They're going to really try and come after Kelvin Bryant, play the same kind of aggressive defense to stick him. You know, he's had a lot of little nagging injuries, but he's played tough all year. They want to try and make it as much a physical football game as they can. So look at the possessions of the Oakland Invaders here in the football game this half. But I don't think the offensive line of Philadelphia will be able to wear them down. It's a fairly young defensive team they'll be playing against here in Michigan.
It might be just a heck of a football game. Fred Pisana throws. Ted Terosian, who's taken a lot of punishment today, runs it out to the 45.
And takes a little more and gets up, and he's not happy about it.
And a penalty flag. You always get the one who retaliates, I suppose.
Yep.
Who was he mad at? Number 25, wasn't it? John Arnold?
He was just mad because he got hit again. Hard.
I thought John might have been a little extra in his effort.
They have a personal foul on number 32, Oakland. Personal foul, number 22, Michigan. Both fouls after the play is over, the penalty's all set. Second down.
Clarence Chapman, the defensive cornerback for the Michigan Panthers. Anthony Carter. He has improved steadily throughout the season. I'm sure he has to be happy with his performance and his growth in only his first year. Going to the championship playoff at Newlywed.
Right now for Oakland, second down 4 and 1:32.
Ray Bentley has had a remarkable game so far this afternoon.
Pisana sacked only one time today. Jairo Penaranda can't come up with it as the ball spins out of his hands, and it's third down and 4.
Oh, Fred Pisana would just like to see this game end quickly, as soon as possible, I'm sure. 18 for 29, 209 yards, and 2 interceptions. He has played extremely well throughout the season, being the most sacked quarterback under a great deal of duress.
Pisana's thrown the ball 579 times this season in games. That doesn't even count all of those days on the practice field. I would think he'd have trouble getting his right arm up.
He's only a few yards short of getting 4,000 yards. It was pulled out of the Chicago game.
Here was a big play back in the third quarter when Ted Terosian took the handoff here, started left, and took a wicked hit, lost the football
from Bentley.
Michigan recovered it. Oakland was turned away, and at that point, it could have been a 24-21 ball game if Oakland had scored.
That was a great effort by Bentley. The ball was on the wrong side, knocked it loose. Allen Hughes was there to fall on it, and they played opportunistic football all day.
Little quick pop out to Terosian, and he's still fighting. And he's got a first down as Oakland goes on 4th and 4 with a swing pass out to the fullback, and he gets the first down. So the clock stops for a moment while the chains are moved with 1 minute and 13 seconds to play in the ball game.
Bobby Hebert's got 2 of them on his jersey. Makes up 11.
Pisana a lot of time gets his man, and he drills it right into the chest of Gordon Banks. And that'll be another Oakland first down. And again, the clock stops with 59 seconds to play in the ball game.
In a game like this, Michigan out in front, not wanting to give up a quick touchdown, not feeling any threat of losing this ball game. Oakland wanting to score just for their own pride. Makes it the longest 2 minutes in the football game.
Terosian again. Well, the big fella from Fresno State. He's going right down to the last second with it, isn't he?
Yes, he sure is. Well, I'll tell you one thing. He'll be sore tomorrow when he wakes up. He's taken quite a few hits today.
Timeout. Oakland.
Time called now by Oakland. They have one left. And that stops the clock with 41 seconds to play in the ball game, as Fred Vasana stands on the sidelines and talks with the coaching staff. A record crowd today at the Silverdome in Pontiac. Well, we're just finishing the dance here at the Silverdome in Pontiac. The Princess, or whatever you want to call them. And it's certainly a bit of a Cinderella story, I think, to a large degree, though this whole franchise at Michigan turned around when those 3 offensive linemen came in. And that gave young Hebert time to develop into a fine quarterback.
Kids, you've heard coaches talk about this for many, many years. When they draft a player, when they build a team, attitude, character. I think we saw a great demonstration of the character of the Philadelphia Stars and their comeback. And we've seen all season long in the Michigan Panthers fight to get to the playoff, to the championship.
Vasana tried to drill it to Banks and missed him. Now there's 37 seconds to play.
As the Michigan Panthers fought their way through the season into this championship, we've seen their character being down 1-4. You kind of in a position where it would be easy to give up, but they haven't. And now those 2 teams are playing for the championship.
And we'll have it for you at 8 o'clock Eastern Time, 5 o'clock Pacific Time, from Denver, Colorado. Please don't let it rain. Fred Vasana, one more time. Raymond Chester, inside the 10, stopped at the 6. And that'll stop the clock for the first down.
Well, let's see, Keith. Panthers are ahead 37-14. If Oakland scores and gets a 2-point conversion, that's 8. Onside kick, score again, that's another 16 points. Nope, they still can't catch up.
Stop. Jim Stanley's done quite a job. I first knew him when he was an assistant coach. And then, of course, knew him as he went to the head job at Oklahoma State. Then became an assistant in professional football. And got a chance here. A big star for him at Oklahoma State was that good-looking fellow with the chewing gum there, Terry Miller.
The banker.
And Terry would be a very prominent member of this backfield corps had he not suffered a broken thumb. Tore it up pretty bad. American Sportsman coming up right after the ball game at 5 Eastern Time. We're waiting for the clock to expire with 29 seconds to go. And Michigan has the ball game in hand. Featured today on Sportsman, Heather Thomas will be in a hot air balloon from the expert Ben Abruzzo, Sir Edmund Hillary. An expedition climbing the unscaled east face of Mount Everest. And Peter Benchley and scientists down in Bermuda observing the humpback whales and their migration habits.
That shot of Hebert and Derek Holloway and Anthony Carter, those 3 little children down there on the sideline. They look so young, Keith.
Oh, they can run.
Yep.
29 seconds.
Some of the fans have now moved down onto the field in the tunnel.
That's a touchdown. A touchdown from Mark Lewis. So Fred Vasana takes his team on down the field and gets the touchdown with 25 seconds to play in the game.
Mark Lewis has played extremely well for the Oakland Invaders today, coming in as a replacement for Wyatt Henderson. He ran the 2 reverses for big yardage, came up with an excellent catch and run on the sideline to put his team in position for a score. 2 catches for 39 yards, big catches, and now a touchdown. 2 rushes for 45 yards.
Kevin Shea for the extra point. It's good. And it's a 37-21 ball game. In the moment with Tim Brett.
And I know that you're happy. What's the feeling like?
That's a great feeling. I think you look around this crowd, And you see that the owner is nothing short of a genius. When you're on top like that, he reduced the prices. I think the people showed up, and I think we got a good football team, and this is tribute to those players. And I really think it's great to have a feeling like this, knowing that we're going to Denver.
Jim, turnovers today were a big factor. There's no question about that. But offensively, it looked like you could move the ball at will.
I think we really did. We stopped ourselves several times, and I'm disappointed in that, but I think it's a good game overall.
Ready for Denver?
We'll be ready.
All right, Keith.
And now the crowd starts pouring out onto the field. The clock still shows 25 seconds to play in the ball game. I don't know what they're going to do with this mess. Just start the clock and wind it off because it's academic anyway, I think. I don't know what it was that triggered them coming down out of the stands, but there they are.
Well, it's been good to have so many people at the fans, but this is not good at all there. I don't understand. They're down there all around the goalposts. They're trying to tear them down. Don't they know they can't tear up the steel goalposts?
Yeah, but I'll tell you what can happen. Those things come tumbling down. One of those uprights breaks loose at several hundred pounds, and somebody could be seriously hurt. So while we leave it to the officials to sort this mess out, let's go back down to Tim Brandt.
Thanks, Keith, and you're absolutely right. Somebody could get hurt down here, and there is concern. But, Bobby, inside the feeling has to be tremendous.
Oh, really? Hey, it is a great game, and I'm just glad we won, and I hope we just make it to Denver, and I hope we win. Praise the Lord.
Keith, for our own safety, I'm throwing it back to you.
Well, for your own safety, that's a good move, Timmy.
I didn't see any particular reason for them suddenly bolting down onto the field, but I think for all intents and purposes the ball game is over. They have still not run off the final 25 seconds on the clock, but there is really no reason to do anything other than start it and let it finish and call it over. Because at 37-21, with Oakland kicking off to Michigan, all they have to do is take a snap of the ball, and time will be going anyway.
Well, I'll tell you, I wish we could find the head official to find out just what his attitude, what his thinking is at this moment about those final 25 seconds. But
well, head official, Cal Lepore, is sitting right down the hall. Somebody ought to go fetch him.
So we can ask him, find out.
Find out what they're going to do with it.
Because officially this game is not over.
The public address announcer is trying to get him off, but I don't think he got a chance now.
The players themselves do not want to stand around in this crowd.
Well, they're not going to. I think that most of the players are gone. In fact, Oakland and Michigan are both headed toward the tunnel where the dressing rooms are located. They've left the field.
Oh, the only players I see out in the field now are Tyrone McGriff, trying to make his way into the locker room.
If he can't make it, nobody can.
He's walking, too.
Well, there's just no way that the security force could do anything with that many people. There must be 5,000 to 6,000 of them. Maybe not that many. 3,000 anyway down on the playing surface.
Well, you know, after this game is over, they had planned a party here on the surface. Looks like a few of them, a few thousand, just decided to get a head start unnecessarily.
Well, it really worries me to see those big old
goalpost
steel uprights teetering like that, because I remember a few years ago, way back in the 60s, 1968, as a matter of fact, a young fellow at college game fell off one of them one day and was severely injured. Well, they've got one of them down, and they brought it down gently, so apparently nobody is hurt.
We had Todd Berry, our spotter, go down and talk to Cal Lepore, the head of the officials, and he said the game has been called for the safety of the players. So with 25 seconds on the clock, it is now officially over.
Okay, the final score. The Michigan Panthers 37 and the Oakland Invaders 21. Michigan will meet Philadelphia for the championship of the USFL next Sunday night in Denver at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. Stay tuned for the American Sportsman. Travel arrangements made through promotional fee paid by United Airlines. United flies to Hong Kong for more top business centers with 3-class Royal Pacific service. This a presentation of ABC Sports.